How well do we know Goodfellas? Let's find out in this episode of Movies from Memory, where we try to recount the entire film from memory.
What's up, movie friends? Welcome back to Raiders of the Lost Podcast, the ultimate film and TV podcast, in another episode of Movies from Memory. This time we're doing Goodfellas. Now, if you have not tuned into one of our previous Movies from Memory episodes, what we do is we try to recount a film beat for beat, scene for scene from memory. And the thing is, we can't have watched it within the last year. Now, we both have seen Goodfellas
A lot.
many times. This is one of my most watched movies. However, I haven't even seen it in the last maybe 2 years. I don't even have it logged on Letterboxd because I took over our Letterboxd early spring last year. And so I haven't even watched it since then. So I'm guessing the last time I watched Goodfellas was when we did an episode on the film in 2022.
I think I watched it this year. I believe I showed it to a friend of mine for the first time.
Yes, I remember you telling me.
It's been several months.
Yeah.
It's probably been 5 or 6 months since then. So, I mean, it's still hard to do. This is a long-ass movie.
Yeah.
It's an incredible film, one of our all-time favorites. We've been watching this since we were little babies.
Little Bambinos.
Bambini.
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 Yay.
Bambini. And so this is a film we know very well. We've talked about, we've done episodes on it. It's Martin Scorsese. It's an all-timer, 1990. It's just one of the greatest films of all time. That's objective truth. And
That
it's
is a fact.
fantastic.
It's a verified fact.
Insanely entertaining. It's an absolute blast. Everyone listening or watching, I'm sure you've seen it multiple times. It's probably one of the most watched movies ever in terms of rewatchability. This is going to be top of the list, top 10 all time rewatchability.
I mean, I had this on my MySpace profile page. I had the post.
With a DMX photo.
it was DMX, Goodfellas, and The Godfather.
I adore this film so much. It's so much more than just a gangster movie. And Martin Scorsese is arguably the best filmmaker of all time, at least in America. And I'm so excited to do this. It's going to be tough because it's a long film. Like I said, it's about 2.5 hours, but there's so many scenes.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of nonlinear storytelling slightly. However, once it gets rolling, once we're back with Henry when he's adult, it's really just kind of a straight line linear.
Pedal to the metal.
It is, but there's a lot of scenes.
Yeah, it's always so impressive with films that Scorsese has done, whether it be Goodfellas or even Killers of the Flower Moon, Casino. If you look at these films, the sheer number of shots, the sheer number of scenes. The Irishman is another great example. So many locations, so many moments, and they're always so jam-packed with instances and situations, and yet doesn't even feel like that long of a film, but the stories truly are epic. And this is one of my favorite movies to watch. It's one of our, like we said, most watched films, and it's my favorite Scorsese movie.
And when it comes to Scorsese characters, the pantheon of characters of his filmography.
The Mount Rushmore. Exactly.
You know, the rogue, what's the Batman? The rogue gallery of characters or villains. I mean, Jimmy Conway, Henry Hill, and Tommy DeVito, they're all top 10 in his filmography, probably. So memorable. I mean, some recent great ones, obviously, with Wolf of Wall Street, with Leo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill. I mean, those are some great characters as well. But Goodfellas.
Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, what's Jonah Hill's name in that movie again?
Oh, Jonah's name in that?
Yeah.
Fuck.
God damn it.
Anyways.
Such a memorable character, so memorable. His name escapes me.
So we
Donnie.
Donnie.
Donnie? Yeah. No.
Danny.
No.
We're gonna butcher it. So in this episode, we do not use notes. We do not use our computers. James, don't use your computer.
Well, I'm just looking
this up. Okay, doesn't count. So
Donnie, I was right.
Donnie.
Yeah,
okay,
Donnie.
And we don't use anything to help us. So it's
my computer's open because I run the audio.
Yeah, the audio's being pushed through there.
Yes.
And we also have some treats. We have some biscotti and some hazelnut cookies.
Biscotti. Well,
Don't say it like a Bostonian.
Well, you know what? I am Bostonian. I am what I am. That's as God made me.
And we also have
your rationale.
We have a Chianti.
Some vino.
And then we have a Puglia red wine, all the way from Puglia.
We're gonna be saucing tonight in this episode.
We're chilling, and we're gonna have a lot of fun, and we're gonna get a little toasty. We haven't been toasty in an episode for a while, but we've seen that it really helps sometimes. And we're just gonna sit back, relax, and try to do Goodfellas from memory.
If this is your first time for a Movies from Memory episode, we've been getting a bunch of new followers. So check out our recent ones we've done: Fellowship of the Ring, we've done The Matrix,
Fight Club,
Batman Begins, Fight Club. Interstellar we've done. So this is a really fun segment. It's a chill time and lots of laughs.
Sit back, relax, have some wine with us, guys.
Yeah, all right. Let's
have
get
some
into
cookies.
Let's get into Goodfellas. Obviously, Scorsese always has great opening title credits,
Yes.
and he has Goodfellas, and the credits roll in like
Saul
a
Bass.
car. It's like a car coming and speeding into frame,
Whizzing, yeah,
and driving away.
It says Martin Scorsese picture, then blah 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 production, then Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Whoosh whoosh, and you hear the car of the sound of cars driving.
And the first shot, I believe, is inside the front seat.
It's in
the car.
Yeah,
It's Henry's driving,
and we're getting.
and then we have Henry, Jimmy, and Tommy in a car driving.
Tommy's in the back. No, Henry's in the back seat.
Okay.
Tommy's in the front seat, and
Jimmy's
Conway's driving.
Jimmy's driving.
And we're driving. They're not
Maybe.
talking.
No, it's Tommy's car, so he's driving.
Okay, Tommy's driving, but Henry's definitely in the back seat. I would
Okay.
say.
Yeah, I think so.
And then they're driving, and then it's just no one's even talking.
Yeah.
But then they start hearing boom, 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 boom in the back.
It was so great. They're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
What is
they're
that?
like, what is that?
Like, they don't know.
Yeah. And then Tommy's like, oh no.
So they pull over,
So they pull over.
and then they're on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere in some woods. And
That red light from the brake lights.
brake lights.
Yeah.
It's an incredible shot.
This is something that's just like so memorable. You see that red light in so many Scorsese films. It's so marvelous to behold.
Get to the back of the car. They hear the bumping more and more.
And we do this. He does the slow camera push in because the audience doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
We hear the sound, and the characters they're all psyching themselves up. Like they're getting ready. Tommy pulls out his knife.
Jimmy takes out a gun.
takes his revolver out, and the audience is like your first time watching it. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Jimmy pops the trunk.
It pushes in.
Pops the trunk. And then, son of a bitch is still alive. Stab. Boom, 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 boom. So Tommy stabs him a bunch.
The sound design in this movie, the stabbing like through the flesh, you can feel it. It gives you
yeah.
it makes you wince. And then the revolver sound effects are great. The gunshots in this movie are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Especially the 45 later on when he shoots Spider. I love he just.
I thought you said
Spider.
spider. I thought you said spider.
Like I say, I have a good shot. I'll give a fuck. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
That's in like 2 hours.
Okay, so and then Henry closes the trunk, and then we have, as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Wait,
no, is this when the title credits come, actually?
No.
Okay.
Title credits come first.
So now the first shot is the close-up of his eye, right?
Well, first up, I want to say he did the super fast push in on Henry's,
Yeah.
and then we got the first still frame, the first freeze frame of the film, which there are many.
Yeah,
It's
after he closes the trunk.
Yeah, exactly. So that freeze frame, then it cuts to him young, and then we have Henry Hill, the narrator, as a child in New York.
Looking through the window, that beautiful, almost Blade Runner-esque shot,
Yes.
profile of his eye.
Oh yeah, that's
And
it.
he's talking about how, as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Yes.
Being a gangster is better than being a member of the Yankees or
Yes.
something like that. And he talks about how across the street, the gangsters, that's where they had their operations.
Yeah,
They had a
and-
pizza shop out there.
Yeah, and then he's talking about how the gangsters, they're communicating, not by phone, and then Paulie, being the guy who basically the don of the block and neighborhood, he communicates through his brother who passes along messages back and forth, and he's watching this as a child unfold every day.
And he ends up getting a job at the pizza shop, parking cars for all the gangsters that show up and doing chores around them. And so his parents thought it was great. He got a job across the street. However, it's leading to him skipping out on school, missing school, right?
Yes. And so Henry worked for the guys around the neighborhood doing all sorts of things. And then we get to see a little look at his life. He has a brother who's in a wheelchair, who's going to tell us to stir the sauce over and over again later in the film. And then his dad's always angry for multiple reasons. And we also learn that Henry's half Irish, half Italian from his dad's being clearly Irish here.
Half Jewish, yeah.
But also part,
Yeah.
yeah, so he's not full-blood Italian.
Yeah.
My bad, yeah.
Okay,
All right.
anyway, so he's talking about his life. He's talking about how he's got this job across the street. Here I am, a kid, and I'm parking Cadillacs. I can't even see over the rearview mirror. And what it leads to
steering wheel.
is respect in the neighborhood because he's doing this job, doing work for the gangsters across the street. Kids are carrying his mother's groceries from the store. He never has to wait in line when he's at the bread store or getting deli meat or anything like that. And everyone treats him like a king. And he's got more money than most of the adults around the block. It's being like he says, being a gangster is better than being the president of the United States. That's what he says.
And we also get a great moment of when a guy shows up on the doorstep of the pizza shop bleeding, and Henry grabs a bunch of aprons and wastes them on the kid, and everyone's like berating him, like, "What are you doing? We gotta toughen this kid up. You wasted nine aprons on this guy. There's 9 aprons on him."
And he's like, yeah, I felt bad. But the great voiceover from Ray Liotta in this whole sequence,
Yes.
talking about his life growing up, and
Ray Liotta's narration, it was they performed it in a new way. They didn't do it in a recording booth, and they didn't do it with him just by himself. So Ray Liotta didn't feel like it was natural if he just did it the traditional way recordings were done. So he actually asked Scorsese, who wisely agreed because it's a great idea, if he could just sit down with a friend of his. So he had a friend sit across from him, and Ray Liotta read the narration as if he was telling him a story. And for him, that made it natural, and you can feel that in the narration.
What I've always loved about the tone of his narration throughout the whole film, specifically the first half of the film, is it's post him being arrested. And you can feel in his voice, especially after you've seen the movie and you know and understand the context, how he misses the life. And he's like, this is what my life used to be like, but now it's over. You can feel that mundane, my life is over basically. I don't love my life anymore. I'm not a gangster anymore. You can kind of feel that in his tone, like he's just smoking a cigarette or just recounting memories of the past.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
Thanks. Okay, so he's missing school.
Missing school.
He's getting in trouble. His dad's like, oh, you've been learning a lot. You've been going to school. How's it going? Yep. Well, this says you haven't been there in weeks.
2 months.
In months.
You haven't been to school in months. And he starts beating his ass. And then we get another freeze frame on the belt in the air. Just as his father's cocking it back, we do the freeze frame.
Yeah, he's
amazing.
He's like, I understand my dad's perspective, you know. He's one of his kids can't walk. He doesn't make enough money. He works all day, comes home, he's exhausted, and then
he's always angry.
He's always angry. He's got a son who is working for the gangsters across the street. He knows what goes on across the street. Yeah. But he had to take a beating every once in a while, but it still worked out eventually.
For him, it was better to take that beating.
And then the gangsters across the street, they find his mailman, and like, you delivered a letter to this guy's house?
That's the guy. That's the guy.
Yeah. That's the guy.
That's the guy.
Yes, here we go. If any more letters from his school go to his house, in the oven you go.
They throw him right in the oven.
Freeze frame.
Of the pizza shop, another freeze frame. I never got another letter not another letter was delivered for 2 weeks. And my mom had to go to the post office to ask for her mail.
My mother had to complain. That's so goddamn funny.
It's amazing.
And then he goes home with a fresh shoe. Ma, you like it? Jesus, my God, you look like a gangster.
Look at those shoes.
It's great. And then we have the incredible sequence of him parking cars, but then with Molotov cocktails and pouring gasoline all over cars, doing a hit on cars. Not a hit for assassinations, but doing committing crimes for the gangsters at a young age.
Yeah, for the mob,
Running away from an explosion. It's such a cool shot to be in as a kid.
And he was talking about what other kids are doing at this age, what his friends were doing, but this is what he's doing.
And before we really cut to him being older, in this sequence, this freeze frame right now, this is what he talks about.
And that he's running away from the explosion, and the beautiful freeze frame of the cars go up behind him. He's got his arms up in the air, freeze frame.
Yeah, and then he talks about last week, a couple of kids carried my mother's groceries home. It was out of respect. And then we cut to rags to riches, right?
Nope, not yet.
We
got to meet Jimmy Conway, bro.
Oh my God, the casino!
Okay, so now Henry's working the casino. He's moved up from just parking cars. So now he's basically a server at the casino, getting guys drinks, getting guys food, whatever, from the bar. And this is where he meets Jimmy Conway. Jimmy Conway walks into the door. At 27 years old, he was already the most notorious mobster in the city.
And he's the only non-Italian in the basement.
Exactly.
He's an Irish hitman, and hangs out with the Italians.
Yeah, and Jimmy Conway walks in the room. Everybody loves him. He's like he's a movie star.
He's like, you ready to lose all your money, you guineas?
We could say that word. We're
the Irishman's about to take all your guineas money. That's why he says stuff like that.
And he slips everyone, no matter what. He slips them a $20 bill or a $100 bill. And this is where we get the little background of what Jimmy loved to do more than anything was to steal. And
7 and 7 on the rocks.
We get 7 and 7 on the rocks. And we get a flashback of what Jimmy likes to do, stealing from trucks. So we get that great moment of Jimmy and another guy. They pull over a big 18-wheeler of a shipment, and they get the guy outside, the driver outside, and he goes, I know where you live. I got it right here. And then he basically steals the truck, but he gives him a little bit of money, slips in his shirt pocket, and the guy even says thank you. Yeah, in the wallet. The guy even says thank you.
Yeah, and I like how Paulie introduces Henry to Jimmy. Jimmy, I'd like to meet Henry the Kid.
Henry the Kid. Hey, Henry, give me 7 7.
7 and 7.
And then we actually follow Henry, run to the bar, get the drink, and run it back to Jimmy, which I really love him staying with Henry in that moment.
Yeah. Okay, so now casino's over, introductions are done, and then Henry's going to get pinched. And so
not yet.
He's introduced.
Not yet. Tommy.
Yeah, so he's introduced by Jimmy.
Yes.
to Tommy. He's like, you two are gonna work together.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Take it easy, bro. He's so hyped. Let me get a sentence
We're still in the first
You're like,
5
yeah. It's gonna be a long episode, Anthony. Save it.
Right.
So Jimmy introduces Tommy to Henry. Henry, this is Tommy. You two is gonna work together, and they start selling cigarettes on the back.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you. Selling cigarettes off the back of a truck, and they sell a bunch in
the neighborhood. Yeah,
but also we see how Jimmy gives cigarettes and cash to the cops.
Yep, pair of cops pull up to the spot and like, hey Jimmy, what's going on? How's it going over here? And then he slips them a couple cartons of cigarettes with money inside the cartons.
Yep, paying them off.
Yeah,
and then Henry and Tommy are by themselves selling the cigarettes, and it looks like detectives come.
Yeah.
And then
or like Vice guys.
Something,
yeah.
but they're in suits versus officer uniforms, and they arrest Henry. Like, hey, what are you doing? Where'd you get these cigarettes? Hey,
it's no problem. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. What do you need?
What do you need?
Tommy sneaks away. He goes and runs to the pizza shop. Tells everyone that Henry got pinched.
Tells Polly about it, and then
next scene is in the courtroom.
Yeah, courtroom
of the judge or the lawyer is bringing up the charges. And then the judge looks at the defense attorney for Henry's side. He's like, yeah. Like that funny
smiling and
nodding. The judge is like, all right, sure. And then,
which means that's a signal that the judge is obviously paid off by this lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows who he is.
And then Henry takes his pinch like a man.
Yeah. And then he walks out of the courtroom, and everyone's waiting for him to cheer. You popped your cherry. I thought you'd be mad at me. Mad? No, you took it like a champ. Never ratting your friends. Never keep your mouth shut. Never ratting your friends.
Very proud of you. All right. Yep. There he is.
On the cheek.
And then boom,
freeze
frame of everyone celebrating around Henry.
Music's playing.
Then
Rags to Riches starts.
The
drums in the beginning of the song.
Tony Bennett, and then we're Rags to Riches. Really incredible shot. One of my favorite shots of the whole movie.
It's Stardust. It's Stardust.
What is
this song?
No, it's Rags to Riches.
Is it Rags to Riches?
Oh wait, no, you're
it's
right.
Stardust.
Stardust.
Yeah,
Rags
Stardust.
to Riches is earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Incredible sequence of the shot starts on their feet.
Yep.
These nice shoes and nice pants, nice suits, and we have Tommy and Henry, adults, cool and suave as hell.
Just a couple of 22-year-olds.
Both probably pushing 40 at this time. I know Henry's supposed to be like 21. And then they're just chilling. They're smoking cigarettes. Awesome sequence. Looking badass in front of the diner. The diner we see multiple times in the film. A truck pulls up.
They're waiting.
They're waiting for this truck that pulls up. This guy gets out of the truck, kind of looks at them, walks into the diner, and then they start laughing at each other and just walk into the 18-wheeler and drive off.
The 18-wheeler still has the key in the ignition.
Yeah.
So because this is all planned, they've obviously arranged this with the driver. And when they pull out, and then the driver looks through the diner window. He runs to a phone and he yells at the bartender. Can you believe this? Some N-word stole my truck. So they're clearly trying to pin this crime on other people to get away with it more cleanly.
Oh my God, what a great first 30 minutes to a movie, man.
Oh man, now what the fuck happens? That's the first 18 minutes, I would say.
Yeah, probably something like that.
That's the first 18 minutes.
So I believe from here on, what's going on is there's a big job that Henry does, right? Is that too soon?
Oh, so you're thinking the Air France job. Okay, so
Not yet.
I'll tell you what's up.
Not yet.
We're doing we're going to the bar, aren't we?
Yeah, okay, so we're doing the long take of
introductions
of all the gangsters around the town.
This is the next scene.
And then we have obviously the famous cocktail scene.
But first we get the introduction of a bunch of the guys. This is Johnny Two-Time.
At the tiki bar.
At the tiki bar, he says everything twice. Hey, I'm going to get the papers. We meet up in...
I love the guy who says, hey, I took care of that thing for you.
Yeah,
he walks away.
And
like he just like killed the guy. Hey, I took care of that thing for you.
And Scorsese shoots it in the POV.
Yeah.
The characters are looking into the camera, so we're Henry Hill's POV, which is a great way to introduce us into this world. And this is the hangout for all the guys in the mob. This is where they chill pretty much every night.
Yeah, and so it ends going through all these different people.
And we do go into the hallways, and we see that there's like sweaters and jackets.
The guy who owns the restaurant, I always forget his name.
I always forget his fucking
name. He's like, what am I supposed to do with these wool sweaters? And it's wintertime.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll keep them. Put them in the freezer. We'll hang it with the meat.
And this is an example of this guy getting way over his head by having the mob help him purchase this restaurant because they're using it for their own means. And also the guys aren't paying for anything, which we'll see soon. But also it's difficult for him to run this business with the mob.
Well, I don't know if he's had the. We don't know. I've never interpreted that the mob's already helped him pay. I've only seen that the mob's helped him out when Paulie came in to partner up with him.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant.
To protect him from Tommy. That doesn't happen until down the line. Clearly, he's a gangster.
Yeah.
And he lets his gangster friends hang out there. But clearly, like you say, he's in over his head. But he's part of the community. He just I don't see that. Maybe he's had some investors, but the mob treats him like crap. Obviously, Tommy treats him like crap, which we see later on. But then we lead into the great cocktail scene.
Oh, yeah.
With Henry and Tommy, which was directed by Joe Pesci, right?
So I can give you the background of this.
Yeah,
I actually just watched a Joe Pesci interview on this. So,
oh, no way.
Yeah, so what happens is a lot of people think this is improvised. It is in a way. So they had a scene, and Scorsese had Joe Pesci and Ray Liotta improvise. And this is where Joe Pesci gave him the idea of the story he heard when he was a kid of a gangster messing with another gangster to scare him. And this basically happened the exact same way this happened. And he saw this from he was one of the guys in the crowd watching the conversation happen.
No shit.
Yeah. And so Pesci, they did this improv and Scorsese directed it. And this was just shot way before the film. They got this new scene and Scorsese put it together, edited it together. And they're like, okay, this works. So then they rewrote the scene in the actual screenplay. So this is not an improvised scene, which many people think it is. It was rigorously pulled out of both actors. And once they felt they had it fine-tuned and perfected, then they actually wrote it into the actual screenplay. And then when they filmed it for the movie, this was just a two-camera setup that Scorsese did. And they didn't do different takes. He put two cameras down so that he could perfectly edit both sides of the reactions. And it's really, the whole scene is just two shots, and it's very wide for the most part, but still you feel the power of it because you feel the silence of the room when things get awkward. So
because they didn't tell the other actors about the entire sequence.
No, the actors knew.
Everyone knew?
Everyone knew. This was not on the cuff like people think it is. Pesci said he said it's ridiculous. People think that Scorsese's just like sitting back there and like, yeah, go ahead and do it, whatever. He said that Scorsese really, they ironed it out. And even the other actors, they knew what the scene was, but they were acting too.
Yeah. All right. An incredible sequence. Tommy is telling this funny story. Then he starts messing with Henry. Yes. Obviously, I'm a clown. You think I'm funny? Why do you think I'm funny? Do I amuse you? Am I a clown?
Tommy, I just meant like the way you tell the story. It's really funny.
No, Christopher. He knows. He's a big boy. He knows what he said. Anthony. The guy's name's Anthony.
What?
He knows what he said.
I'm just saying. It's just like
funny. No, you tell me. Why am I funny? How do I amuse you?
It's just the way you tell the story. My voice? What the fuck is so fucking funny about me?
Yeah, what the fuck is so fucking funny about me?
Tommy, get the fuck out of here.
I almost had him.
Get the fuck out of here. But before that scene is the scene where the guy who owns the restaurant tries to collect the tab from Tommy.
Okay, so that
is right after the POV introduction.
POV, okay, so he tries to, so
and then the guy's
7 big ones.
Yeah, you owe me, hey, I mean, when are you ever thinking of paying your tab? So he gives,
because he's doing the bits. He's like, yeah, can you believe this? Last week, this guy asked me to christen his kid.
Yeah.
And he said, 7,000 I charged him. 7,000!
And the group's uproarious with laughter. Then it cuts to...
Even the people in the booths in the restaurant are just laughing their butts off.
Exactly. And then it cuts to the famous scene right after that. Because now they've been chilling there for like hours, you can imagine.
Yeah, just put it on my tab.
Yeah. Are you ever thinking of paying your tab? Fuck, you embarrass me in front of my friends?
You got 7 fucking big ones here, Tommy.
Yeah,
I don't.
You gonna bring this up in front of my friends, embarrass me in front of everybody?
The fuck? You have an idea of the money we spend here? Okay, good save.
Okay, now we're at the end of the story, and they're all laughing.
You really are a funny guy. That's it.
What the fuck is so fucking funny about me?
Tommy's so funny. He's just out of his goddamn mind. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Okay, after this sequence, I believe we have
Air France.
Not yet. No, Air France is later on.
But at the tiki bar, that's where the guy who works at the airport says, "Hey, I got a big job."
Okay.
He tells them the hint of that.
Okay, you're right.
Because Henry goes to him after the introduction, and then the guy goes, "I got this big job." And then he tells him about Air France.
And talks about how what's the security like? You're looking at it. You're looking at it. He walks in, you grab a key, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I believe that's it. And then, so we might as well just say that now. They go in.
Are we missing anything? Let's think about it.
The only thing I can think of if we're missing is the date. Where first
that's way later. That's way later.
Is it? Is it after
way
Air France?
later?
Okay, so Air France is next.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you're right, because he pays his respect to Tommy. I mean, to Paulie. So Air France happens. They talk to the guy, the big guy from fucking what's it called? Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah, he's in the car with them.
He's the pills
What's
guy.
the most annoying sound in the world? Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
When he dies, and they think they're giving him his heart pills, but they're giving them the rat poison on the burger. There's your pills. Take your pills. Num 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 num
nums. Pills are good.
Pills are good. It's the same fucking guy.
You fucking Dumb and Dumber. I never put that together. It is the same guy.
Okay, and so what happens for the Air France job is there's gonna be, I think, 300,000 or like
$420,000.
$420,000 in cash.
Yes.
And because of the Jewish holiday on Monday, no one will know until Tuesday.
Yes.
So Henry walks in, gets the key, goes inside, gets a bag full of cash, and literally walks out.
Yeah.
While the other guy's just in a security job.
And then they bring it to Paulie, and they give him his cut, and they're all in the room, and Paulie's like, "There's a lot of money for a 22-year-old."
He's taking stacks out one at a time. One, like, takes out like 50K.
We gave Paulie what his due, like with his respect.
We paid our respect to Paulie.
Yeah, so they gave him a cut. That's
That's
a lot of money for a couple of young guys.
It's a lot of money for a young kid like you. And he slaps him.
A young 20-year-old like you.
Ray Liotta fucking. He looks like he's been smoking for 20 years, let alone being 20.
So this is the Air France job.
Yeah.
This is not the Lufthansa.
Yeah.
That airline.
That's
That's
way later.
Way later.
Jimmy! You son of a bitch!
That's way later.
Way later.
There's
Okay.
a lot more money.
Now I believe it's the date time. So Tommy,
I think we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I think we're in good shape.
Hold on. Let's just. Is there something after the date?
I don't know before the date.
I mean before that. Is there something? Before
No, because I believe pays the respect, and then we have.
Yes.
So we have Tommy and Jimmy. They're burning down the building.
Okay, gotcha. So
burning down the
no,
restaurant.
we missed something. The bar owner complains to Paulie about Tommy.
Tommy, okay.
I can't have him. He's a wild kid, and I can't have this in my place.
Yeah.
And then we get the fuck you, pay me. You can't.
Okay,
if you're
slow down.
If you're partnered with the mob,
slow down.
I'm slowing.
No, but we got to talk about how he becomes a partner with Paulie.
Yes.
So
Oh, thank you. Yes.
the restaurant owner, you got to take it easy. I know you're amped up, Anthony.
I'm so ready to go.
People are losing their shit. So the restaurateur is scared. I can't remember his name. So he takes Henry to have a meeting with Paulie, and he's asking Paulie, "What are we gonna do about Tommy? Tommy's a madman." And Paulie's like, "What do you want me to do? Tommy's a bad kid. What do you want me to do?
He's a loose cannon.
He's a loose cannon. It is what it is." And then the guy's like, "It wouldn't be a bad idea to just take him out."
And
basically.
they both look at him.
And so then he apologizes for that.
Sorry, I didn't mean anything by it.
And so he offers Paulie to be a partner on
What do
him.
I know about the restaurant
And
business?
so being a partner with Paulie would get Tommy off his back, because Tommy wouldn't be disrespectful in the restaurant anymore, because it's being disrespectful to Paulie.
Exactly. Yes.
However, and then he even says, Paulie's like, "Well, you know anything about the restaurant business?" "I don't know anything about the restaurant." And then he goes to Henry knows everything about it. He's there
there
long
all the time.
He's there long enough. He's practically a stool.
Yeah.
There it is, yeah. So he partners with Paulie, and then Harry's voiceover is talking about, he's partners with Paulie, which is good for protection, but now every week he has to have his money. Oh,
Every
electricity?
every month he has to pay him.
Fuck you, pay me.
Fuck you, pay me.
You have a fire? Fuck you, pay me. Every month.
Yeah.
And then he talks about how Paulie just ends up using it to launder and to funnel goods out
Hence
of it.
the jackets, and we got that too early.
Yeah.
Now we see the jackets and clothesline of stuff, and the restaurateur is like, I don't know what to do with this stuff.
No, the clothes
is earlier?
It's way earlier.
Okay.
No, the clothes we had right.
Okay,
This is
gotcha.
different, because then they're talking about how Henry's talking about how you bring stuff, and you bring booze and food in through the front door, and then you sell it out the back door half price, and you
Yes.
make double profit. Because they're basically stealing it, and then they're selling it out the back, basically.
Gotcha.
And so Paulie basically just turns the restaurant into a front.
Yes.
To sell goods and to make even more money off of. And then eventually he goes out of business. He signed the papers. He says it's a goddamn shame. And then then Henry says there's only one thing left to do. You light a match.
Burn it.
You light a match.
Yes.
Light
a match. Nice. You do
I
well.
got it, man. I got
You're
it,
doing
man.
really well.
I know. You're like so hyped up, Anthony. You need to slow down, man. Slow down. The juice. It's in the details.
Hey, we've learned from these episodes, sometimes one person has to carry the other, and then sometimes that goes the other way around.
Yeah.
So I might have to carry you later.
Listen,
You've
man.
been carrying this last 10 minutes, though.
I know. I got this, bro.
got this, bro.
So they're doing that thing where they put the
pink stuff.
rags inside. Yeah, that highly flammable
Yeah.
stuff. I believe it's the stuff that's inside the bottom of catering trays.
Poo-poo platters.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, poo-poo platter. But it's the same thing. Those long burning candles underneath food trays.
Yeah, that weird material,
pinkish chemical.
And they put it all over the hay adornments.
Tommy's like, "What are you doing? Decorating a fucking tree? Get the fuck out of here! Hurry up, Henry! What are you decorating a tree?" Because he's being so precise.
And then we cut to them. They're in the car across the street, waiting for it to go up.
After they light it.
Yeah, after they light it, obviously.
Yeah.
Then we go to they're parked in the car.
What are you lighting a Christmas tree?
You did a pretty good Tommy impression.
Thanks, bro.
And they're waiting for it to go up. And then once it goes up, it's safe to drive away. They know it'll burn. But this is when Tommy's telling them about this Jew broad. She won't go out with me unless I bring another guy.
Can you believe that? A Jew broad prejudice against Italians?
Let me talk, Jim.
Sorry, go ahead.
Can you believe it's this day and age? A Jew broad, prejudice against Italians. This day and age. Can you believe that? So, anyways, he's basically trying to get Henry to go on a double date with him.
Henry's like, no. You didn't even ask for it. You didn't even know what I was gonna say. You didn't even know.
Tommy.
No. I didn't even ask anything yet.
Come on, I'm trying to screw this broad.
trying to bang this broad. Come on, Henry. We're not asking for very much, Henry.
We are just quoting the movie, guys.
They understand.
Yeah, they understand. Yeah.
I do a lot of fucking favors for you, Henry.
Trying to bang this broad. And then they see the smoke coming up, and Tommy's still ranting as he drives away.
He's like, oh, goddamn, Tommy and you smoking. Tommy and you and your goddamn mouth. Get out of here.
Now the date.
Is it the date? Yes, it's the date.
Unless we're missing something.
I think the date's right. So, Tommy has a double date with this girl, and then we switch voiceover.
This is where Karen takes over for a little bit.
So first,
now hold on. Are we missing anything?
I think we're good, bro.
Are we missing anything with Jimmy?
No. We have Tommy and Henry for a bit.
Because this is where, what's interesting about the film is that Karen does take over she takes over for an entire sequence of narration. And then it goes back to Henry after like an hour and 20 minutes into the film.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
I like this sequence because it starts with Henry talking about how he had plans with Tuddy that night.
Yeah.
He had a meeting with Tootie that he had to be there. What's his name? Tuddy or Tootie? Titty. Tootie.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Tootie. He had a meeting with Tootie that night. And so he's like trying to get out there earlier. And he's like, by the time they were ordering dinner, I was asking for a check, basically.
Yeah, so they're there and Karen's trying to talk to him. She's like, you haven't touched your whatever.
Why don't you eat something?
Why don't you try to eat something?
It'll wake you up.
Yeah, drink some coffee. It'll wake you up. And then Henry's looking the other way. His body posture is to the left. He's not interested in being in there. Meanwhile, Tommy is having the ball with his girl.
Hey, Henry, what are you doing? Relax. We just got
here. Why are you leaving?
He's like, hey, Paul, we'll take the check.
I got that thing. I gotta go. I got that thing. We'll take the check. Then it cuts to Karen's saying how before we even ate dinner, before we even had dessert, he was asking for the check, and before something, he was driving me home.
So it was before, but when we were ordering drinks, he was ordering dessert.
Yes.
And then when we were having dinner, he was asking for the check.
Yeah, and then he was pushing me to my door to say goodbye.
By the time he's already pushing me out the car.
Yeah, pushing me out the car.
But also Tommy says that thing, well, we'll all leave together. We don't want to leave out of here like a bunch of hobos one by one.
We don't want to stumble out of here like a bunch of hobos. We did forget a little bit of how Henry talked about Paulie being the guy of the neighborhood.
So the backyard barbecue.
And how Paulie never talked on the phone, because this is going to come up later, obviously. This is what we missed in between those scenes. Paulie never talked on the phone, and he always spoke through surrogates, in betweeners.
Never spoke to more than 7 people.
Yeah, never spoke to more than 7 people. And then we see a bunch of guys whispering. They go to Paulie and whisper something. He whispers it to another person, and then Paulie and that guy nod to each other. The message was received. It's an agreement. And they actually haven't even spoken to each other, but yet those two men made an agreement. So this is like how Paulie operates, staying off the phone lines, because the FBI is always tapping the lines. They know who the gangsters are, so they have to do it this way. But it's also very important.
And Henry, he's basically talking about how what Paulie does is it's a service, a protection service for gangsters.
That's what nobody ever understood about us.
Yeah, it's like the cops for gangsters. You know, he's the protection for people who are getting in trouble.
Who can't go to the cops.
They can't go to the cops.
Yeah.
That's what the cops never understood. And it's about respect, and it goes back to the old country.
And this is, you go to another guy, hey, yeah, I know him. He's a good fella. We're Goodfellas. That's where the Goodfellas name comes in.
The sausage and peppers on the grill.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, that looks so good.
Looks
That
terrific.
was important stuff we missed. So I feel like that's what I felt like we were missing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And
Okay.
I don't think we have anything Jimmy related until about a little after this.
We have a little break from Jimmy because now we have the second date where Karen's taken over the voiceover now, and she's talking about how he promised them that they'd meet up the next Friday, the four of them, and instead of being a double date, we were a trio, and he stood me up. And Tommy's he's got a mouthful of food.
I don't know what happened.
Dude, you said he really liked you.
He was really looking forward to this. He said he really liked you. I have no idea what happened.
And I had Tommy take me out to find him. And then the car pulls up. Henry's outside the pizza shop hanging
Chilling
out
with the guys.
Hanging with his boys. The car comes to a screeching halt. Karen gets out of the car. I don't know who you think you are, Frankie Valley.
Who do you think you are? No standing me up. Who do you think you are, Frankie Valley?
And then he says, I remember her screaming at me, and she had these beautiful eyes that looked like remind me of Liz Taylor. Liz Taylor.
Yeah.
And he's like, clearly this is the first time he's actually been attracted to Karen.
Yeah, because he didn't notice her at first, and now he's noticing her because she revealed her herself. I think for Henry, this showed she's a fighter and she's fierce, and kind of an equal to him because he's a monster, he's a gangster, he's a criminal.
He's probably been with so many women. That he's always just kind of treats them like nothing. Horrible. Like he's probably a horrible guy. You know, he cheats on his wife many times, but he probably looks at women like no big deal. Move on to the next one. But then this one actually caught him by surprise.
She had these great eyes like Liz Taylor,
and she had fire. She had spunk.
Yeah,
and she
that really attracted him to her.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. If you just look
fighting
at it.
for him,
yeah.
you know what I mean, and like
or standing up for herself,
and telling him to respect her.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Being like, you're gonna respect me. No, he's never had a woman do that to him before.
Probably.
Because the world they live in, it's all about respect. And so she's demanding respect from him.
Because women are probably so easy for him. He doesn't even want to do this double date.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's focused on crime and making money. He's making bank. And so he's focused on having a good time. But then we have a real date between them where he picks up Karen at her mother's house. And she comes out. He's like, hi, Henry. And then she sees that he's got a crucifix chain, a gold cross chain on his neck. She's like, oh my God, you got to cover that before my mom comes.
He buttons his top button.
And then
then her mother comes outside.
Karen tells me, yeah, you're Jewish. You're half Jewish.
Only the good half.
All right, and then we have Copacabana, right?
Copacabana. So he pulls up. Obviously, this is the oneer.
Karen's voiceover, right?
No, this is back to Henry. Wait, no, there is no voiceover. No, it is.
It's Karen.
Yes, it's Karen. But Crystal's song is playing. Great song by the Crystals. He pulls up, parks outside, doesn't have to get VIP, doesn't have to get valeted. Another instance of him, everyone knows who he is. And then there's a line to get into the front door of the Copacabana. And then he takes her out of the car, and he's leading her across the street. And they're not going towards the entrance. They're going to the side back door. And she's like, where are we going? Shouldn't we go over there? He's like, no, I like going this way. It's easier.
What a gangster.
Takes her down the steps into this back door. And he opens a door. And then there's a doorman who knows who Henry is, lets them inside. And then he's leading her through this red hallway. And they approach what looks to be a guard at the end of the hallway. No, two people are making out. Every time, you two, every time. And then he leads her through the kitchen, and we're seeing all the people cooking. He says hi to a couple of people. He's probably done this 1,000 times. And then they enter.
He also puts $20 bills in someone's jacket.
You're right, yeah. And then he leads her into the actual restaurant, and they go to where the hostesses are. Hosts are, and he doesn't have to say anything. The guy sees him, and then he tells one of his servers, he snaps his fingers, and he says, 2 tables up there. And then one of the guys brings a table with a fresh tablecloth on it, lifts it up over his head, and he starts walking through all the tables of the Copacabana, and Henry leads Karen behind him. They walk all the way to the front. He sets down the table, 2 chairs. They quickly seats them both in their seats.
They turn the light on.
I'm getting there. Then he puts a lamp on the table, turns it on, and then walks away. And then literally a few seconds later, a bottle of champagne is delivered to them from another gangster friend who Henry says thanks to. And also, Henry saying hi to everybody around them. Everybody wants to say hi to Henry. And Karen's just so bewildered. She's never seen anything like it before. He knew everybody.
She also says, you gave each of them $20. He's like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And then she goes,
Then the act is opening on stage, and then
she says, what do you do?
I'm in construction.
I work in construction. Your hands don't feel like it. I'm a union delegate.
and then the comedian starts.
Comedian starts, does a couple one-liners. Take my wife. I can't take her anywhere. She finds her way back.
There's like 3 one-liners of his wife that are hilarious.
What's the other one?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Something about the kitchen. I try to.
There is something about the kitchen.
That's that really famous comedian. What's his name?
It's not that insult comic.
Isn't it not?
No, not Don Rickles.
That's not Don Rickles? Oh, I thought it was.
Don Rickles is in Casino,
Yeah, I know.
but that's not Don Rickles.
He's the
This
pit
guy's
boss.
already old.
He's already old. All right. Really great sequence. And then Karen's talking. They're in the Cadillac, the convertible, drinking champagne, just having a wonderful night. And she's talking about how I didn't find it strange yet, a young kid with such great connections, and everybody wanted to be his friend.
Yeah, everybody wanted to be his friend.
It was an amazing guy. He was an amazing guy, basically.
And I really felt for him or something.
Yeah, fell for him. And then I'm trying to think what. All right,
all right, we're at the date's over. What's next?
I still.
Are we missing something?
I think we got order mixed up, but it's fine.
Okay.
I still think the date stuff happened before the Air France job.
I disagree.
I think it did.
I don't
because
think so.
Then it gets because if either way we covered both of them.
Yeah.
So I think that Air France happened after these dates.
I think that Air France happened before the dates because honestly, if I remember correctly, we don't meet Karen until a good amount in the film.
Yeah, but also what I'm talking about is the opening inside the Tiki Bar and the Tiki Lounge with the Tommy and Henry scene as well. That's not where the guy is, I don't think. The guy that planned the Air France job. I believe it's later on and after this stuff.
I disagree.
I know, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
For the record, I disagree with
We'll find out after we finish recording.
We'll find out. Okay.
But we do not use any help with this episode.
So, all right, so we're still in this sort of honeymoon phase for Karen and Henry.
Yeah.
I believe next they go on. Do they get married now?
No, we still got a little bit more story.
Okay, no, they go on that cruise.
Is that right after this?
Yeah, they go on the cruise. It's just that quick scene where they go on the cruise because we have to set up the neighbor. So they go on the cruise.
Yes.
The neighbor's there, and Henry's like,
well, first the server comes and he's about to give his card. She's like, no, just write.
No, he takes out a wad of cash.
He just write it to the room.
You sign for it.
Sign for it.
You
here.
sign for it. He's like, what? He's like, do I tip them? He's like, no, don't tip them. It's okay. Then the other guy, the neighbor, comes across the street.
Hey, Karen.
Comes and says hi to Karen, and Henry's like, yeah, nice to meet you. Oh, this is my friend. He lives across the street.
And then it's a great move by Ray Liotta. He shakes his hand without looking at him.
Yeah.
No respect.
Yeah.
Shakes his hand, doesn't even look at him. It's fantastic, that little bit of what he does with his body language.
Yes, and then we are. So then I think that sets up.
I know where we are.
The name. So okay, Maury.
It's
Maury.
outside the courtroom, right?
Which courtroom scene?
So when Jimmy shows them the bag
Of what?
of money.
No, that's not till they're doing drugs.
Okay,
That's way later. That's drugs.
Okay.
So what happens is now Maury's introduced. So. So this is Maury's introduction where we're at Maury's wig shop. It's a close-up, I believe, of the TV screen of a commercial for his wigs. He's jumping in the pool, the two girls in the pool. He's like, my wigs stay on. And it's tested against hurricane winds. And then this is where Jimmy comes back into the story. So Henry and Jimmy are at Maury's shop. And
Maury owes him money.
Yeah, Maury owes Jimmy money, and Jimmy's pissed off at the front of the store. His arms are crossed. He's watching the TV, watching the commercial.
He's so pissed.
And then Jimmy's in the back with Maury, who's on the phone also, and he's talking about how, like, he's like, listen, Jimmy lost. Excuse me. He's like, okay, so what happened is Maury lost a bet to Jimmy.
Yes.
But Jimmy later on lied about the odds. And Maury's like, I would never do that kind of bet where the odds were this crazy bad and then there was extra juice on it.
Yeah.
He's like, I would never agree to that.
That's right.
And so Jimmy changed the odds to the bet, and he wants his money, and he's hate watching the commercial that's on the TV in the front of the store. And then Henry's like, just pay him this money. And then Jimmy comes in from the back, and he starts choking Maury with
Wraps him with the cord.
He's like, you got money for this fucking commercial?
Give me my fucking money. Give me my fucking money. Oh, and then Maury's so nervous he's laughing.
Okay, no, Henry's laughing.
No, Maury starts laughing.
No, Maury's choking.
No,
dude.
he chokes, but he laughs too.
Henry's laughing.
No, Henry's not laughing. Maury laughs.
Do you think it's him breaking character, the actor?
No, I think that he's like nervously laughing.
Okay, Jimmy, I'll do it.
He's like, okay,
I'll give you your money. All right,
his red
all right. I
face.
know you mean business.
But he does laugh a little bit at first because he thinks he thinks Jimmy's
Maybe,
messing with him.
But Henry
then-
does laugh too.
Yeah,
Henry's
but-
like, ha ha ha.
But then once it gets really tight, he's like, okay, Jimmy, I'll pay you
your money.
But
And
he laughs first.
But Henry laughs at his wig falling off.
No, yeah, that's what it is. His wig falls off and Henry laughs at it.
Then while this is happening, the phone rings. Henry picks it up. It's Karen.
Yes.
Because Karen is Jimmy, I gotta go. It's Karen.
She's pulled over her car. She's at a payphone, sobbing on the payphone. And he's like, what happened? What happened? She's like, I'm just this guy
Across the street who I've known my whole life. He started hitting me. I said no. He pushed me out of the car.
That's accurate.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Lorraine Bacron.
Bakari.
What's her last name? What's the
Bracco.
Lorraine Bracco. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lorraine.
Bakari. Barbacoa salad.
Barbacoa salad? That's
what you're
It's a
saying.
weird salad. So then Henry picks her up at the payphone, and he asks what happened. And then he pulls her up to her driveway, and he sees the guy's washing his car across the street with a couple of buddies
I
there.
think he's got like a Stingray Corvette or something like that.
He has a red
Sports car.
Corvette. I think it is a Corvette. It might be.
Yeah, and the three of them are just hanging out.
And then Henry says, I want you to go inside and lock the door. And then Karen goes inside, although she's obviously going to watch what happens. And Henry, he's fucking seething. He's so fucking pissed. He gets out of the car.
No, first he
He pulls out his revolver, puts it in his pocket. And then
he puts it in his
in
shirt.
in his waist.
In his waist belt.
Yeah, in his waist. And he slams the car door and he fucking like an absolute G just fucking walks across the street. He's walking up to the guy. And the guy says, "What, you got a problem, man?"
No. He says, "You want some too?"
You want some too? And the guy goes, "Oh, you want some too?" And then Henry pulls out the fucking revolver, starts bashing him. Boom, 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 boom. The guy collapses, and then he points the gun at the friends. Hey, don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Fucking awesome, blood everywhere. Then Henry turns around, storms back to Karen's house. She opens the screen door for him, and slow motion insert shot of the gun. Hide this for me. Put this somewhere safe. And then we get the narration of most friends of mine, the second a guy gave them a gun, they would have ran. But me, I liked it. It turned me on. I gotta admit, it turned me on.
And the next shot is Henry breaking the glass of their wedding.
Stomping on the glasses.
Yep.
Yes. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. What a great cut. That's an incredible cut.
Oh my God, it's fucking Scorsese.
Can we talk about that editing?
Thelma and Marty, man. The two, I mean, greatest editor
Getting
ever.
handed a gun and then getting married.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's a perfect summary of their relationship in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Because it shows that obviously it's not gonna be a smooth marriage, and the wedding's incredible. It's
So
one of my,
funny.
I think it's probably my favorite wedding scene in a movie. It's so sensational. It's like a fairy tale. It's an Italian fairy tale wedding, and
Hundreds of people.
it's Karen's voiceover still.
Yeah.
She's still taking over the film in terms of the storytelling of the progression of their relationship. And she's talking about how she met so many nieces and nephews and uncles and aunts, and most of their names were
Mary.
Marie,
And Paul.
and they're all married to guys named Paul. And then Paulie's even like, this is Marie and Paulie. I mean, I'm sorry, Paul and Marie.
Paul, I get them mixed up myself.
This is Anthony and Paulie.
I get them mixed up myself.
And she's like, by the end of it, I felt drunk basically. And then they're dancing, they're doing their dance, and she sees
People
all
kept handing them envelopes.
Yeah.
When they cuts to them at the table, people are saying hi and putting envelopes and handing Karen envelopes, and she's just getting dizzy with all these people she's meeting. She doesn't even know them, and they keep handing her these envelopes filled with money.
Who's first?
Who's first is Paulie.
Paulie's the
Yes.
first one. Something to get you started.
Yeah, something to get you started.
And then while then they have their first
Then the
dance
dance.
together, and she's like, "What about the bag with the money?"
The bag of money.
This is, I think, a great moment because it shows that Karen, she's a nice lady, but she's also corrupt as well because she's infatuated with money as well.
And also, she is an outsider, and she doesn't know that once you're in this world, you are trusted. Everybody in this room trusts each other. And then Henry says, nobody here's going to take that. Nobody would dare take it. Don't worry. Nobody's going to
steal that here.
Nobody's going to steal that here.
And then I believe we cut to their day-to-day life, right? They pull up their closets. They both have, like, he's got 100 suits. She's got 100 dresses, all different colors, different schemes, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a great look at the marriage. They both have, like, the same setup, but different ways.
And I believe this is also Karen kind of going solo with the storytelling where she's meeting, she's with the other housewives. She's like, I'm at a housewife party, basically. And she's like...
Doesn't fit in with them.
She doesn't fit with them at all. Even the one doing her makeup, she's like, they all wore cheap clothing. They all
look beaten up.
Yeah, they look beaten up. They put in that ugly blue goop on their faces.
Yeah.
They wore cheap makeup and lazy clothing, a lot of two-piece suits.
Yeah.
And they just talked about how they would beat their kids all the time. And then it cuts to her... And then the other one's like, my parents. No, I'm from Florida. It's like you woke up in Jew heaven. and then they. This is all in the movie, everybody.
It's in the movie.
This is what we do. We quote stuff. And then I believe it transitions to them in the bedroom, and she's talking about how Jeannie's husband, went away. And what if that happens to you? What if you had to go to prison, Henry? And Henry's like, listen, Karen. I know what I'm doing. The guys who want Jeannie, you want to know why he wanted to go to the prison? Because he wanted to get away from Jeannie. Guys only go to jail because they want to go to jail. Yeah,
and that's not going to happen to me.
I have things organized. I know what I'm doing.
Yes, yes. And this is where we get the blowjob scene here, where she's like, Henry's about to leave. She's like, hold on, honey, I need some money.
It's like, around here. Yeah, it's similar. It's maybe not the next sequence, but I believe it's around here.
Okay, yeah.
Because I believe.
We gotta be back with the boys soon. We're back with the boys.
I feel like there's another heist in there somewhere. Not the big one, but I feel like there's another heist with Tommy and Jimmy. Okay, Tommy and Jimmy steal a truck. No, Tommy and Henry steal a truck. Yeah. So we have Tommy coming. Yeah. And then he has the bag and he shoots. Yeah, so Tommy and Henry steal a truck.
This is Henry having late nights.
Yes.
This is where we get back into it.
Where have you been?
Henry, where have you been, Henry?
Okay.
Where were you at home?
So Henry and Karen have moved in with her and her parents.
Yes.
And they're up in the middle of the night waiting for Henry to come home.
But first we saw them stealing the truck.
Yes, yeah.
And so they steal the truck, and Tommy, when they're driving away, has the paper bag over his revolver, starts firing it in the air, screaming. And they're having a blast. They're having fun.
I don't know if it's the same night, but it's like a sequence.
And I think they're at a bar, too. They're at a bar with the guys.
Yeah, maybe poker room.
Yeah.
Something like that. But they're late nights, and then Karen's up in the middle of the night with her mother, waiting for Henry. She's like, where is he? This is not normal for a marriage. He's
with his friends.
You don't understand how I feel, Mom.
You don't understand. He's with his friends.
And then she's like,
the headlights.
Go out. Daddy never went out ever.
He never went out. He never left the house.
Will you take it easy on me? The man hasn't been able to digest a meal in a week. And then all the lights are off. They're asleep on the couches and everything. And then headlights light up the room.
They all jump up.
So Karen and her mother jump up, but her mother gets to the door first, opens the door, and starts berating Henry. Where have you been?
You know what time it is?
This is not how a married man behaves.
And then
Karen's like, Mom!
Henry's like, fuck this. He turns around.
Henry, where have you been?
Henry, where have you been, Henry?
Mom!
They drive away, and Karen's like, Mom!
Henry, where have you been?
Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
But also there's bad times and there's good times, because they talk about how there's that really sweet montage that I like, how it's of the photo album, basically.
Yeah,
the photos of like
friends,
whenever there's a new baby born, Jimmy's the first one there. Even though our husbands are doing gangster stuff and they're risking their lives and doing dangerous things, and they're committing crimes, at the end of the day, they're all very supportive of each other. It's like a family. They go on vacation together. They have the fun. I like the photo montage because they're playing cards, and then Jimmy is pouring water on Henry, who's asleep on the couch on his face.
And also, we get the great scene of FBI agents would come all the time to check the house, and Karen's like, I never understood the other girls. They would spit in their face and scream and shout everything at them.
Spit on their own carpet.
Spit on their own carpet. I never understood that. I would just let them in. And then she lets the guys in. They're going to search the house, and she just watches TV with her baby.
Can I get you guys a cup of coffee?
All right.
They just basically what they're looking for is like Looking for a payoff, basically, I believe. Did she say something like that or no? No?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
They're looking for evidence.
For
of any
something.
kind. Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, and now I think around here is when the kitchen blowjob happens. She's like, I need some money.
How much?
How much?
This much. Karen, I'm gonna be late.
Oh,
she goes down.
All right. My man.
Amazing.
Okay.
Do you want to take an intermission break?
Let me check.
Well, how far in are we?
We're an hour into the episode. Yeah, it's probably a smart idea. Let's do our intermission.
Yeah.
And I feel like
it's a good place to stop.
Yeah,
we need a little more vino too.
Let me pull up my intermission.
Yeah.
Now, before we continue, everybody, the best way to support Raiders of the Lost Podcast is to become a patron today at patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Why would you want to become a patron? Because you get bonus episodes every single week of the show. You get access to the ad-free version of every single episode that you can listen to on Patreon and connect your Spotify to, so no commercial breaks, as well as you get access to our Discord. Patreon is integral to the show. It's the only reason Anthony and I were able to leave our jobs and do the podcast full-time and make this ridiculous amount of content for you all every single week on all these platforms, and it's so important to us. So thank you to all of our patrons, past, present, and future. Sign up today at patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Another great way to support the show is to leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We love to read the written reviews out on Apple, so I'll get to one of those in a minute. But basically, these ratings are integral to us charting higher and higher every single week in the competition of podcasts. It adds a lot of reputability to the show. We're at over 2,000 on Spotify. We're almost at 2,000 on Apple. At 5,000 on Apple, I'm going to get a tattoo of Anthony's choice. So, guys, we got to get these numbers up. I know a lot of y'all are probably listening to this episode, and maybe you've never rated our show on Apple or Spotify. Just do us a favor, real quick. Go rate us on Apple or Spotify. Plus, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Comment, leave a like. Share us everywhere, because sharing is caring. It's caring. It's another great way to support the show. Organic growth for podcasts is most helped by organic sharing. So tell everyone you know about Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Send them our Instagram. Send them our content on TikTok, YouTube, any way possible. But word of mouth is the best way for us to grow.
This episode, of course, is sponsored by our friends at movieposters.com, the #1 place to get your posters online today. Be sure to use our promo code Raiders10 at movieposters.com. and get 10% off your order right now. They have a huge selection of pretty much every movie and TV show imaginable in our poster library, as well as all sorts of sizes, framing, and even backlighting for your poster needs. They have a gigantic selection, so if you love Scorsese movies, if you love Goodfellas, they have all sorts of posters from his films as well as alternates. You can get everything from your favorite Marvel film, Lord of the Rings film, to your favorite classic Hollywood movie, international films. They also have originals and alternates, so for the movie fan, movieposters.com is the best place for posters. So again, be sure to use our promo code there, Raiders10, to get 10% off order right now. I'm feeling that wine.
Feeling that wine? I've already eaten 2 of the biscottis and 1 of the cookies. No, 2 of the cookies. So I only have 1 cookie and 1 biscotti left. So the thing with the biscottis, they're delicious. They're just so crunchy and loud.
Very crunchy.
But they're very tasty.
The almond man.
How about we get into our movie? If you're,
you gotta do frame first.
Frame. So we're eating snacks, guys, if you're listening to us right now, but we're going to do our best to keep our voices clear.
Yeah, but I mean,
we're having a good time.
We're just chilling, bro. We're just chilling.
All right, let's pull up Framed.
People eat food, Jim.
No, they don't.
Framed. Okay, what do we got?
Let's see. Oh, that's easy. That's
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. That's way too easy. We should... Yeah. It's literally the Atom-Sun explosion shot.
It's funny. I was talking to my girlfriend about it today. She's like, yeah, you're going to be able to get it in the first try.
That's way too easy. Well, I guess from that movie,
for me,
every shot's too identifiable from that film.
You can do like one of the landscape shots.
Yeah, true.
Of especially of
you
before
can even do them on the horses.
Yeah, before they build it.
Like it could just be a Western.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
you know what they should do? They should do the close up of the horse with the firelight on it.
The next one was tougher. It's a close up of the apple on the professor's desk.
Dude,
that's what they should have done. Then the third one is actually pretty easy, but the first one's way too easy.
Yeah, that was way too easy.
All right, well, Framed was a piece of cake today. No problems there. Let's get into our movie quote competition, Anthony. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. John, you know what I think? I think you're addicted to it. To the vengeance. No wife, no life, no home. Vengeance. It's all you have.
Is that 7?
Nope.
Say it again.
John, you know what I think? I think you're addicted to it. To the vengeance. No wife, no life, no home. Vengeance. It's all you have.
John. Minority Report.
Nope.
Fuck. I don't know.
Here, pass me that wine.
Here. I'll pour you a glass, man.
Oh, here.
Cheers.
John Wick 2.
Oh, John Wick 2.
John Wick 2. I thought you'd get at least a John Wick movie out of that.
I figured
No wife, no life.
the most famous John franchise, and I couldn't even come up with that.
Right? Yeah, I'm pretty shocked.
Okay, here's mine. The tea is going out. The interruption is staying right here with me.
Fucking hell.
A little vino for my guy.
Say it one more time.
The tea is going out. The interruption is staying right here with me.
Oh, it's such a good quote. I feel like I've watched this movie in the last year or two.
Maybe, probably. Oh, shit. Here, take your glass first.
Thank you.
Un bicchiere. Un bicchiere di
Bicchiere.
Vino rosso.
You know what they call red wine in Spanish?
No.
Vino tinto.
Tinto? Tinto is red?
Yeah, red wine. I don't know.
Phantom Thread. That's Reynolds Woodcock.
God damn it.
It's as if you rode a horse through
When she's scraping butter on the toast. It's as if you rode a horse through the room.
He's such a brat. I love it.
I can't start my morning with a confrontation.
He's too fussy.
I still think he's too fussy.
It's as if you rode a horse through the room. Oh my god, I love that fucking movie.
Me too, man.
I fucking love that movie.
Such a good script. Such a good script. Okay, it's time for Guess This Movie Release Year. You listeners too can tune in and try it out. The Greatest Showman.
2016.
2017. One off.
I've never even seen it.
I've only seen bits of it. I kind of want to watch it because people have been talking about it.
People
a
say it's
lot
great
because of Deadpool and Wolverine. But I mean, Hugh's just so talented. I feel like I have to watch it.
It's apparently a fantastic musical from everyone I've heard.
We should check it out.
Zendaya, Zac Efron, Rebecca Ferguson, great
You have
cast.
chocolate on your lip.
There's gonna be a lot of chocolate on my lip today. All right, what year did The Boxer come out, starring Daniel Day-Lewis?
Oh, I'm trying to. Is this 2000s? No. This is the 90s. This is 1995.
97.
Kind of close.
Directed by Jim Sheridan.
Oh, no shit.
Great director.
Yeah. Okay. Anthony, I have a great pop quiz question for you.
I hope it's great.
What spy film is Sir Elton John in?
What the fuck?
What spy film is Sir Elton John in?
Oh, I gotta think about this.
Come on. He plays himself. That's the hint.
Okay.
He plays himself.
Elton John plays
He's not like a
Thank you for
villain.
the hint.
He's not like a villain.
I was gonna say.
He'd be a fabulous villain. Very fabulous. Very fashionable.
Is it Kingsman 2?
It is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Nice.
I only got that because Taron Egerton played him.
Yeah, he's got a very awesome.
Oh, yeah, I
he's got
remember.
like peacock kind of.
I remember. Yeah. I just took that.
He asks Eggsy if I save the world, can you get me tickets to your show? He's like, if you save the world, you can get VIP backstage.
He's so good in Rocket Man.
Oh, man.
He did a great job.
Who? Taron?
Yeah.
He's a very talented guy.
Yeah. All right. Here's my quiz question.
If they kept those movies more grounded, man.
Kingsman?
Yeah, I think that franchise could still keep going.
The thing is, they went with that heavy cowboy route in the second one. It didn't quite work with Jeff Bridges and Channing Tatum.
Yeah, it was fine, but still the style wasn't quite there because then they tried to do it with the Ray Fiennes origin one.
The King's Man.
Yeah, so that one, it just didn't work for me. That movie, that's a movie that I turned off after like a half hour. It just didn't work.
Sorry to hear, man.
I'm just analyzing. I just think they went too heavy-handed on that style of action.
Yeah, no one liked that movie.
They lost the substance of the story. Because the first one's great. I think the first Kingsman movie is really, really good.
Yeah, but it does have Gemma Arterton in it.
The first one or second
one?
Yes.
I mean, King's Man.
Yeah.
And Jaimin's in it.
Yeah.
Jaimin Hunsu's in it.
I'm not saying anything's wrong with the cast. The cast is great.
You don't like Jaimin Hunsu?
It's my guy. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh my god, I just got goosebumps.
Gladiator quote.
He better be. If he is secretly a gladiator too, I will fucking lose it.
So the thing with that is I could possibly see it happening, but also I feel like because Maximus won't be in it, I feel like he won't be in it. Just let him go off and live his life somewhere. Because he needs to be. I've always looked at it like he didn't become. He got his freedom and found his family.
But it would be really cool.
It'd be a lot cooler if he was in it.
It'd be a lot cooler if he did.
Okay. What's your pop quiz question?
Who played Daniel Day-Lewis's wife in The Boxer? Famous Irish actress.
Famous Irish actress. Molly.
No. Did you just say just a random Irish name?
Julie.
No.
Mary.
I'll give you a hint. She's in The Proposition, which we talked about last week.
And she's Irish?
I think she's Irish.
She better be Irish.
She's got to be. It's Jim Sheridan and Daniel Day-Lewis. She's got to be Irish.
She's in The Proposition?
She's in The Proposition.
I don't know.
Emily Watson.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. I didn't know she was Irish.
No, you do.
I thought she was Australian. Okay, Anthony.
That's how good she is.
As he's carving good prayers.
Hey, bro, we're just chilling, man.
Just
eating
chilling.
Cookies and wine, man. This is a movies from memory episode. There's zero prep in this.
All right. Do we have any haters this week? Any unsubscribes?
We got a lot. It was a good week.
Well,
I also have a real hater, too.
I'm going to pull up a 5-star review while you do that.
Okay. Isaiah Forsyth.
What a cool last name.
That's a great last name. Being blue-balled into thinking today's episode would split.
Yeah, Anthony. You gotta get your day straight, man. The last week, he thought like Friday was Sunday. I'm like, dude, it's fucking Thursday. No, it was like Thursday. You thought it was Sunday, and then I saw that story yesterday. He posted.
I posted a split story because it's our Wednesday episode, but I thought it was our Monday episode.
He posted on Monday in the story. I'm like, dude, it's fucking Monday.
I posted on Sunday night.
Yeah.
And then he said, now I have to listen to another great 3-hour episode from Rare's Lost Podcast. Unsubscribed.
Yeah, I've been doing some long episodes lately, everybody.
And then, but I totally messed that up. Oh my god. Then Boris, 4240. Good video, guys, on our 100 greatest movies you've never seen. Many titles I've never heard. Glad to see unsubscription movement grow. So, so we can support such a great channel. Keep it up.
I love when people take unsubscribe, but they do a different variation of it. Unsubscription? That's hysterical.
Also on the episode, Jose Liddy. Ugh, I fucking love you guys, but I also hate you guys because my Letterboxd watch list is growing because of you two. Unsubscribed.
Welcome to the last 20 years of my life knowing Anthony. Hey, man, have you ever seen The Chalk Stick? It's a Belgian film.
What? The chalk stick?
The Chalk Stick. It's about a boy who draws stuff on the ground with chalk. It's amazing. The cinematography is terrific.
It's supposed to be sublime.
Sublime! Sublime!
The chalk stick. Oh my god. One of the funniest things ever is the fighter when he takes Amy Adams to Lexington to see a foreign film, and you always say I'm that guy walking in.
Can I talk about it? So he takes Amy Adams to Lexington, Rich Lexington, to see a movie because he's poor and wants to seem like he has money.
No, he doesn't want anyone to see him outside.
Yeah, and also
he's embarrassed.
He's also trying to impress her.
It has nothing to do with that.
You could not go to Lexington.
He went to Lexington because he knew nobody he knows would be there and see him.
But also, it's all the way... Dude, Lowell's so far away from Lexington.
He literally says it! He literally says after the movie, I didn't want anyone to see me.
I thought he was trying to impress her.
He didn't want anyone to see him outside after losing the fight.
So he doesn't know anything about movies, right? And so he takes her, and they're in line for the movie, and the guy in front of him is like, oh, I'm so excited about this film. The cinematography is supposed to be amazing. He says it so snotty like that, and I always call Anthony that guy. The cinematography is supposed to be amazing.
Richie Rich Lexington.
What do we do in Richie Rich Lexington?
We have family from Lexington. They are not snobby. They're very nice.
Who do we have for family that lives in Lexington?
Well, next to Lexington. Like right on the fucking border.
What city?
Winchester.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's on the border.
Dude, you drive through Lexington and 2 minutes later you're there.
Nah.
Yeah.
Lexington and Winchester?
They're right there.
They don't touch.
Oh, they touch. They do a lot more than touch. It's right there. Lexington is right next
Do
to
they touch?
Winchester is next to Lexington.
Maybe they do touch
It's
a little.
literally right down the road.
Just a little bit of touching.
It's a peck.
A railroad crossing.
Non-Massachusetts people are like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? All right, next up we have Mississippi Queen on the same episode. Harakiri, Thief, Apocalypto, Battle Royale, Les Samurai, The Red Shoes. Those are the films you opened with to start the episode.
Yep.
I've seen all these films. Unsubscribe. On our clip, you did a great clip about Dogville, the
Thank
movie
you.
without walls. Jazzy Jeff wrote, I have to use my imagination to put up the walls. Unsubscribe. I only like real visible walls.
Oh, Nathaniel, funny guy. Nathaniel makes such fire memes.
He's great.
You did a post on Instagram last week of like 9 memes that
It was
fans
10
had made.
memes.
It was terrific.
It was great.
They were so funny. The croissant one killed me. The croissant. It was Evan made that, right?
What was it? Describe it.
Where it's Anakin burning.
Yes.
And Mustafar, because we were talking about Anthony went to the new pastry place and he got one pastry, he got one croissant and didn't bring any home. I was devastated.
You were so pissed.
I was honestly
Weird. I told you in the middle of an episode you freaked out on me.
I didn't freak. I was like, you didn't get me one. I was honestly being very serious about it too. I was very upset.
We literally went right after recording that episode.
It was pretty great.
I told Evan we went right after.
But it was, I hate you.
I hate you.
Anthony, when he comes home without a croissant for James. It was such a good meme.
All right, next up we have The Cinema Fiend. I have never seen any of the Alien movies before listening to your podcast. You guys convinced me to check them out. I fell in love with the series. However, I now need to unsubscribe because I haven't gone a day without thinking about xenomorphs or facehuggers for the past month.
There we go. Another convert.
Oh yeah, baby.
Some of the best movies ever made. Come on. So glad you checked them out.
Nick, I'm 99% sure you mixed up Mirror and Stalker on the last episode. However, I'm not going to unsubscribe from it, but good luck. Those Tarkovsky fans are going to crush you.
Possibly.
I described a scene from Stalker and Mirror.
Oh.
Those movies all blend together. I love the guy.
Some lady on a fence looking into the distance.
That's Mirror.
Yeah,
that's Mirror. It was the glass, the moving glass that's in Stalker. Next up, Apocalypse Later. I've seen some of these movies.
So that's funny, Dave.
I've seen some of these. Unsubscribed.
I was so looking forward to the quotes because
Yeah.
the title of the episode is the 100 Greatest Movies You've Never Seen. But obviously, everyone's probably seen at least a handful.
Yeah.
But I was looking forward to people. I've seen these. Unsubscribe.
That's so funny.
I've seen every one of these movies. Unsubscribe. Actually, I did a poll on that episode. I'm curious to see what the results were.
Oh yeah, check it out.
So let me pull up the results for that because I did a poll.
I saw it was like, how many have you seen 0 to 20,
Yeah.
20 to 40, something like that?
So we did 100 films, obviously, that you never seen. More obscure greats of all time. And so the poll results were, how many of these have you seen? And
12 hours later.
25 to 50 was 0%. 0 to 24 was 70%. So most people have only seen 0 to 24 movies on that list.
I'm glad because I wanted to show new movies to people. That's
51 to 75 was 10%, and then 76 to 100 was 20% of people saw 76 at least
Fuck yeah.
total films on
That's
that list,
impressive.
which is great. But clearly, I think, and we hope that a lot of you all put a bunch of those films on your watch list.
That's the goal with that episode.
Have a great year, 2024. Bang out as many of those as you can.
Like episodes like that, it's just we want to tell people about movies you don't see anyone else talking about.
Exactly.
You're not going to see someone on TikTok talking about Dogville.
No
I
way, except
guarantee
for
it.
Raiders of the Lost podcast.
That's right, baby.
And you know, September is going to be kind of a slow month for theaters.
Yeah.
So put some stuff in your watch list, guys.
Criterion channel. Criterion. Retainer.
Gentlemen,
Hareforth too.
what I can say is your chances would be greatly improved if I had $100 in my front pocket right now.
Right now. Cash in hand.
Cash it. Retainer.
All right, next up, Jack Stretch. Another 3-hour banger? That's it. I've had enough. I'm resubscribing so I can once again unsubscribe.
Wait, we forgot the best part. You suspect.
You suspect. Gentlemen. All right, next up. This is a good one. Horror, sci-fi, and beyond on the 100 greatest movies you've never seen. No Freddy got fingered? Unsubscribed.
Oh my god.
Same episode. Pixel Kit. Yo, these are amazing picks. There's so many that I've been recommended or forgot I was going to watch. Resubscribed. Thanks, pal.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Resubscription.
Tarek on our 100 Greatest Movies on Spotify. Not enough ads. Unsubscribed.
You guys are so funny.
Mason Kunstler. You guys are unbelievable. First, you made an episode about horror movies I've apparently never heard of. And now you make this. That's it. I'm unsubscribing once again.
That's great.
Alexander Sullivan. Listening to how everyone unsubscribed because you messed up Bye 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 as a In Sync and not... Because you messed up Bye 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 and said it was a Backstreet Boys song. Some mistakes are just too stupid and ignorant, not worth correcting. Hence why I didn't say anything until now. Unsubscribed.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Miguel LeBlanc. Boston boys with bad French pronunciation. Unacceptable and unsubscribe. I did say we know how to say bureau.
Bureau. It's a shelf. That's a dressing shelf. A dresser. That's what we call them.
Okay,
bureaus.
something funny happened on YouTube. So we've actually connected our YouTube to our TikTok. And what YouTube Shorts is doing for us is it's posting all of our old TikToks.
It's awesome.
It posted our Dune screening giveaway for tickets.
Oh, no.
And I deleted it. However, a couple people sent us DMs with their emails hoping to get into the contest.
We got to delete those off
I
TikTok.
did.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
off TikTok, yeah.
I got it. Don't worry. I took care of it.
I feel
Carlos tried to get one. He sent me his email, and I said, sorry, bro. I explained what happened. He said, I'm going to unsubscribe myself out of here.
Sorry, Carlos.
Also, Kevin, the same thing happened to him. Haha, I was wondering how you guys got another screening going. Unsubscribed.
It was for part 2, huh?
Yeah, Dune 2. K989 on Movie News. Unsubscribed because of the word demure being used.
Demure.
Jason Fleming. There was so much gaslighting in this episode that I unsubscribed.
Thank you. Tell me about it. I was the one being gaslit.
Festival Head Austin, the official gaslighting episode. Mason Lavender. I listen to you guys on a daily basis. You are truly the best film podcast out there. Thanks, pal.
Thank you so much.
This is on our Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Harry Potter episode. But there's not enough Star Wars love here, so I have no choice but to unsubscribe. However, yes, Lord of the Rings is superior filmmaking.
Yeah.
We did not give Star Wars much love.
Yeah, but I mean,
We're not big Star Wars guys.
I love Star Wars.
Yes.
It's great. But I think it's Lord of the Rings, you know? It's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Derek wrote, Tom Cruise is him. Unsubscribe, obviously.
Yes.
You were talking about Drive, I think. Then we have Brad Lasky. Benny Safdie was in a Jedi in Obi-Wan, not Mandalorian. Thanks for gaslighting, James. Us unsubscribed.
I think I said I think.
No, you said he was.
I said I think.
You were very confident.
No, I said it's either Mandalorian or
nope.
Obi-Wan.
You said You said Mandalorian.
No, I said I think.
You said Mandalorian.
I said I think.
I don't know. I think Derek knows.
You guys are both gaslighting me.
You can't even trust Derek.
Derek.
You're not allowed to say gaslighting anymore.
Derek. You suspect.
Zoe's Wonderland on Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars. Vader is Luke's father? Wow, thanks for spoiling it. I was going to watch it this weekend. Batman Who Laughs. Son of Rambo stars Billy Milner, not Freddie Highmore. Unsubscribed.
Way to go, Anthony.
Mix them up. Michelle Griggs. James needs to stop using gaslighting. I just can't anymore.
I said it a lot that episode.
This is a good one. Talking about the Megalopolis trailer quotes. Birthday batter. An epic piece of trash. Paul Kale's 2024 review of Raiders of the Lost podcast, courtesy of Lionsgate. Nathan Torres. Anthony looks like he's about to make the best film about the adult entertainment industry. Unsubscribe.
Based on your outfit?
Yeah. It's the glasses, I think.
What were you wearing that episode? Do you remember?
Our Raiders shirt with my glasses.
You just give off that vibe, I guess.
Ryan Loftus wrote, Anthony said, anyone listening to this, check this scene out right now. As if I'm sitting at my desk with my hands folded while listening. In reality, I'm sure he knew I was driving my car. And his comment forced me to risk my life and watch scenes from Alien while driving. I assume I would subscribe automatically if I did not follow his treacherous commands.
We've all been there.
Oh, my God.
Have you ever just listened to a movie?
Just listen to a movie?
Yeah.
I just sometimes I watch movies without sound, but I never just listen to one.
I've actually done it a few times. I've done it at the gym. I've done it on long drives where I just listen to the music, listen to the movie.
You know who does that?
No.
Aaron Sorkin.
Oh, no shit. I've done it a bunch.
Aaron Sorkin, actually, he writes the screenplays without imagining visuals. And Aaron Sorkin, the way he writes is he just imagines voices.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, so Max has this cool feature where you can play the movie and then you can put your iPhone to sleep. So it's sort of like same thing with Spotify or something. And YouTube Premium does that where you can just listen to the audio, but if you put your phone to sleep, the YouTube video stops.
So do you go to sleep to Freddy Got Fingered?
Did you hear it? No, but long drives, it's great to just listen to a movie you know very well, so you can kind of watch it in your head. So I've done that a bunch. I've done it at the gym too. It's great. It's a fun experience. But Max is great for it because you can put your phone to sleep, or you can lock your screen. I mean,
I got a couple real haters. Richard on YouTube. A hugely distracting watch because the guy is constantly adjusting his microphone.
Who?
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck, don't look at the screen, man. Fucking sorry.
We move around, bro. We move around.
Not a robot. Look at him touching his microphone.
How dare he touch his microphone?
It's sort of like it's like a fidgety thing, but also you want to make sure when you change your position,
these
you
mics
bring the mic with you.
These mics have such a small field of capturing audio that you have to have it close to you.
So this is why we wear headphones.
When you move around, you have to move the mic with you when you move.
And so we hear ourselves with the headphones really well. That's why we wear them, so that we can tell if our voices are losing, are moving away from the radius of where the mic is picking up our audio.
Sorry, Derek.
Was it Derek?
I can't remember. Something Brewster. All right, here's another real hater. This is a funny one. Goran on YouTube. I'm saying it because I know he's not going to watch an episode.
That sounds like a Lord of the Rings character named Goran.
Oh my God, the basic ignorance on display here, dudes. Now, this is on our Prometheus Alien Covenant episode. And he said, the first alien and aliens are almost nothing like laughing. So the fact that you don't know this makes me think you actually don't know what you're talking about at all. And I replied...
They're kind of very much the same movie.
I replied, they literally have the same third act. Ripley blows both aliens out of the airlock. She moves through the ship alone with a weapon and escapes just before a big explosion. Pretty much the same exact third act. And then he said, so the logic is just because they have the same third act of the same movie? And I said, you're the one who said the films are nothing alike, so I proved you wrong in 5 seconds. Nice try.
They're insanely alike. There
so
are
alike.
xenomorphs in them. There are chest bursters.
Same lead character.
Same
Pulse rifles.
It's very similar. They're of course, one's more horror,
Here's
one's
the
more
thing.
action.
The context is we were saying how Alien and Aliens are so similar when you look at it compared to Alien Covenant and Prometheus. That's what we were saying.
Yeah.
They're not the same movie, obviously, and you all know that, but Goran doesn't. Goran.
Relax.
Goran also said he's glad he watched the video, so now he doesn't have to waste any more time on us.
Thank God.
He said that.
Goran, see you later. He probably watched 3 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Did we lose power? No, my fan went out. It's the bad vibes of Goran just killed
your fan died.
My fan just died, Goran.
It's an old Amazon fan. It was
What the hell,
it was bound
Goran?
to happen.
It's not that old.
You mean it's your crotch fan died?
Oh no, he's back. We're back, baby. We are back and cooling down the crotch. Yep, here we go. Goran. I'm gonna name
Goran.
I'm gonna name this fan Goran.
If there's a listener named Goran and you like us, you're cool. This Goran sucks.
This is the other Goran.
This Goran fucking sucks.
God damn it. Okay, is that all of our unsubscribed?
Yeah, there's a lot.
That was a good list.
We've been getting a lot of listens and a lot of views, and we've had a really fantastic few weeks, and we're just happy that people are connecting with the show.
We're getting a lot of new listeners on YouTube specifically.
And I'm just glad that...
So welcome.
It's amazing that people can actually listen to us and really just enjoy us. It's still... Every day we feel very grateful.
When you get hate on YouTube, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, you know you're going viral when you're getting all the crazy haters.
Not viral, but you know you're doing well.
Yeah, not viral.
Viral's like a million.
We're doing well.
We're not doing a million per episode. We're doing like...
Oh, fucking I wish, man.
I know, I wish too.
We'd have a fucking studio crew if we were doing a million an episode.
We would be able to not have me on audio. We'd have someone
I'd be getting a Manny Petty while recording.
We'd have a tech person. Okay, we have a great 5-star review.
Let's hear it.
From I'm a Real Girl. And she spelled real, R-E-E-L. That's great.
Hell yeah.
I'm a real
Film girl.
Film girl. Add this to your rotation is the name of her review. 5 stars. And this is in caps for the first half. Attention all listeners of pods like Film Spotting, Blank Check, The Big Picture, Ringerverse. I was one of you then. I stumbled upon Raiders in the summer of 2023 while searching for a podcast that could explain the WGA strike to my parents in simple terms. That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's been a great addition to my feed ever since. These guys are thorough with their film breakdowns and great with Hollywood news to keep you up in the loop. They're so enthusiastic about film. It makes me happy. Give it a try. Oh, I'm a real girl. Thank you so much. We're so glad that that episode was beneficial for you and helping explain everything with the WGA strike to your parents. We have a WGA captain in studio on that episode if you want to check it out.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, the strike ended, but it was great to learn a bunch of information that we didn't know about the WGA, about the deals they have with studios and with different productions.
Writers' rooms. It was a really cool chat.
So yeah, it was an awesome experience to have a WGA captain in house.
But
on that
we're
episode.
glad that after the Ringerverse and Blank Check, you came to us.
Oh yeah, I hope you never leave.
We're happy to have you.
Woo. Okay, thank you, I'm a real girl. Those 5-star reviews.
We haven't done it for a few days.
Okay,
We should. That's the reaction to every 5-star review.
Anthony, what's your streaming recommendation for this
Oh yeah,
episode?
my streaming rec. 1 second, let me pull it up. Dr. Strangelove on Max. This is a film of Stanley Kubrick's that I hadn't seen for a while. I don't think I've seen it in many years, and it's funny. His films are so incredible that I remember seeing it pretty young and not quite understanding it, and seeing it in my 20s and still not fully grasping it. But I watched it the other night and I was laughing my ass off. It's just an amazing film. It's one of the best war films and just a fantastic piece of political satire during a tumultuous time of the Cold War, where people were constantly paranoid about nuclear war. It's a remarkable piece of filmmaking. The visual effects are still, it's amazing what Stanley Kubrick and his team did so early in the world of cinema. Most notably, like all the plane stuff. It still looks fantastic, and he really is a genius filmmaker. And I've been watching a lot of his movies lately. I watched Clockwork Orange. It's on Netflix, and it's hard to argue that he's not the best filmmaker who ever lived. Mostly because every one of his movies is so different from the others. His range as a filmmaker is really unparalleled. There isn't a filmmaker I can think of in history who did the range of films and stories that he did. He never made the same movie twice. They're all so different, and they're all fucking masterworks.
He's one of the goats. One of the goats. My streaming recommendation is The Mule, which is on Max.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Really good a Clint Eastwood movie. And he plays this 90-year-old guy who starts running drugs for the Mexican cartel.
Get off my drugs.
Yeah. First, it starts off where he's trying to save the local VFW, which is lost its funding from the government, and he's an ex-vet.
This is based on a true story, right?
Maybe? I can't remember. I haven't seen it in a while. But it first starts off with him trying to save the VFW. They need like $25,000 to keep the doors open, which is the only place that the vets can go, to be part of their community and to kind of, cope outside of therapy and stuff like that. So the VFWs it's always been a really important place for veterans to go. Yeah. Veterans of foreign war in America. And so it starts off small time, but then it gets bigger. And it sort of has this great tone where, because he's this 90-year-old guy, it's a great idea where no one would suspect him running drugs in a car. And all the cartel gangsters treat him like a grandpa. They're all like, "Hey man, there he is. There's our guy. Hey, you ready? What happens when this phone rings? You answer." He's like, "I answer." He's like, "Yeah, that's right. That's your answer. All right, Poppy, let's go." So they're all excited to work with him. But obviously, his past catches up with him, and he sort of has to face his past, face the sins of his past, and things get too out of control, which leads to a very big job, which gets him on the map of agents and federal agents. But overall, really well-directed movie, obviously, from Clint Eastwood, who's 9 years old, acting and directing in this film.
Based on a true story. It's based on a New York Times article.
Gotcha. Came out in 2018. Also, performance is great from Bradley Cooper in that film. But
Who's Bradley playing that?
He plays, what's his name?
An ATF agent or something?
Something like, he plays Colin Bates. Which character is that? I'm trying to remember. I haven't seen it in a couple years. Bradley Cooper. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think he plays.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he's in it.
I mean, he's probably like, they did American Sniper together. He's like, "I'd love to just chill with you again, Clint."
Yeah. But it's really good. Good flick.
Good flick.
I can't wait to see his last one. We should go see it in theaters just because it'll be the last Clint Eastwood movie.
Oh, juror number 2? Fucking absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
I'll be there fucking opening night.
All right, let's get back into our episode of Goodfellas, movies from memory, everybody.
We left off with the Karen-Henry marriage, the ups and downs, but I think we got to the end of their marriage sequence.
Yes.
Which means I might be wrong, but is this we're going with the boys with Billy Baggs?
Yes, definitely Billy Baggs.
Billy Baggs.
So
are we missing anything? I
think we're good. We've gotten the relationships, we've got the marriage. Because remember, this movie has these great chapters that they're not written chapters like a Tarantino movie, but this is Karen takes over the movie for a bit, but now Henry takes control of the movie. He's back in terms of the progression of him doing gangster stuff. And
in terms of gangster stuff, you mentioned the heist, the Lufthansa heist. I still feel like that's later.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Way later.
I'm not saying it's now.
But so the gangster stuff is the killing. So it's Billy Baggs. Let's just say this is it. If we miss something,
I think it's Billy Baggs.
So they're at the bar,
Henry's bar
that he owns now. They're chilling, drinking, and Billy Baggs shows up. He just got out of the joint, and he's having a drink, and then he says hi to Tommy. Tommy used to shine his shoes.
Well, yeah. So Jimmy and Henry are already there. Billy Baggs is already there. Tommy walks in the door with his date.
Tommy walks in with his date.
Yeah. And then he introduces his girlfriend. This is Henry. He owns the place, and then he's trying to ignore Billy. He's this motherfucker.
Exactly. And then Tommy antagonizes him a couple of times.
No, Billy Baggs antagonizes Tommy.
I'm sorry. It's the wine.
You're good.
Billy Baggs antagonizes Tommy a couple of times.
Hey, Tommy, come say hi. Get over here. Come on.
This guy used to shine shoes better than anybody.
He'd give them back to you as mirrors.
They'd be mirrors. You could see your reflection in them. They were so shiny. So he's basically belittling Tommy.
I don't shine shoes anymore.
What's that?
I think you've been in for a little too long. I don't shine shoes anymore.
All right.
Just breaking it up.
I'm just
go get your fucking shine box.
Go get your fucking shine box.
Motherfucker!
And then he goes to him, but then Jimmy and Henry break it up, get between them, like, hey, I'm just having fun. I'm just busting his balls.
Yeah. Henry tells Tommy to leave. Tommy leaves. Tommy tells Henry, don't let him leave.
Here.
Keep him here. But also Jimmy's like, hey, you know what? You upset him. You antagonized him. All right, drinks in the house. Let's celebrate drinks in the house.
You antagonized him a little bit. You were out of line. You were out of line.
Yep. And then the night goes on.
They get drunk.
Yeah.
And then Henry's like chilling with Billy Baggs. They're all drinking, having fun.
Jimmy is. Henry's behind the bar,
like nervously waiting.
He's doing accounting stuff.
Right.
He's writing in books.
Right. And then Tommy comes back. No date. The bar's empty. It's literally just the four of them.
Yeah.
He locks the door. No, he comes in. Henry locks the door.
Yep.
And then Tommy walks up to Billy Baggs. And he says, what does he say? I got your fucking shine box right here or something?
So, like you couldn't keep your fucking mouth shut. I can't remember what he says.
What does Tommy say? I know it's a good line. And then he fucking blows his head off. He shoots him in the head, right?
No.
No, he bashes him.
Slow down. So, he doesn't shoot him.
I'm not going fast. I just got it wrong,
man. The shootings in the trunk.
What does he hit him with?
He hits him with the gun.
Oh, yeah, with the butt of the gun.
He bashed him in the face with the gun so hard multiple times while freaking out that he breaks the revolver off his face.
He's bashed him on the floor. Great slow motion moment. And the gun breaks to pieces.
And Scorsese does a sort of gunshot sound effect when he does it, and when it crashes on his skull.
You're right.
And it falls to pieces on the ground.
My God, it's so fucking good.
And they think he's dead.
Cinema.
And also Jimmy's kicking the shit out of him. Henry grabs this,
yes,
Henry doesn't lock the door until they attack him.
Yeah.
Then he runs to grab the door. Jimmy's kicking the shit out of Baggs. Tommy's bashing him with the face, and then the revolver breaks, and they think he's dead. And then they're like, oh my God, this is so fucking bad. And then Tommy's like, you got any sheets? We need sheets.
Tommy goes, I didn't want to get any blood on your floor.
Yeah, I don't want to get blood on your floor. This is so fucking bad, guys.
So then they wrap up Billy Baggs, put him in the trunk.
In the sheets. Yeah, that overhead shot of them putting him on the sheet and then put him in the trunk.
And then we get one of our best scenes.
Tommy's mom's house.
They drive to Tommy's mom's house. And they're
in the kitchen in the
dark.
dark.
Wake her up. What are you doing? What time is it? He's like, Mom, it's fine. Can you?
But he also in the car. He's like, we can go to my mom's. I got to get a knife.
Gotta get a big
shovels.
butcher's knife.
And shovels.
And then they didn't want to wake her up, but she woke up and she's like, He's like, oh, I just need to get a knife and a shovel. We hit a deer.
I never see him.
We hit a deer. We gotta bury it. And she's like, no. Let me put some food in you.
He's like, I need the knife. You know, like the hoof. Yeah.
The hoof.
It's stuck on the front, and so I gotta hack it off.
And then it cuts to them. She prepared a whole meal for them, and they're eating spaghetti and some other sides.
Do you think that this is the first murder Henry's been involved in?
No. I don't think so.
I think it's possible.
It's possible.
Kind of because the way he's acting in the sequence where Tommy and Jimmy, clearly they're killers. Maybe Henry isn't there yet.
I think that Henry's so nervous because because Billy Bags is a made guy.
Yeah,
that's
true.
What's so
but also, you can tell who the killers are. I've always
Henry's not a killer.
I've always looked at Henry as not a killer.
Yeah.
And I see he's obviously an accomplice to murder here, an accomplice to these crimes. But I've never seen Henry as an actual murderer, where that's Tommy and Jimmy, because this dinner scene, they're so relaxed. I mean, there's so much detail in the scene. Specifically, obviously, Tommy's mom made this pasta from scratch real quick, but then you see Jimmy the Irishman using ketchup on his spaghetti because he's Irish. That's what they used to do. Our father used to do the same thing. And then,
oh my God,
when he was growing up, yeah.
Now I know why I put ketchup on my pizza when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was an Irish thing.
So with pizza, I would take a slice of pizza.
I can confirm.
I would squirt ketchup on it, but that wasn't enough. I would spread the ketchup evenly across the entire pizza slice, and then I'd eat the pizza.
Can you believe that, everybody?
I also put ketchup in my mac and cheese.
You put ketchup in ketchup.
I loved ketchup as a kid.
Yeah, dude's a ketchup guy. And so it's great because I've always loved that part of the scene where Henry's on edge. He's not saying anything. Even Tommy's mom says, "Henry, you don't say much, do you?" And then
she shows the painting.
Shows the painting. You know,
I love it. One dog looks one way, one dog looks the other way.
First she says, one's looking west, one's looking east.
He doesn't. You always say west and east.
She says that.
She says that?
Yes. Tommy says that, then she says, "What's the big deal? One's looking west, one's looking east."
Okay, gotcha.
She says that. But before she brings out the painting, she's so excited. She's like, have I shown any? Have you seen my painting?
I used to have it on the set here, but we got a bunch of new posters, so I got rid of it.
But then she tells that story about the older gentleman at the party where they're talking about him. He's like, "Hey, you never talk. Why don't you ever talk, whatever your name is?" And he says, "What do you want me to say? That my wife 2 times me?" And then his wife goes, "Shut up, you're always talking."
And also, Tommy says the guy in the painting looks like
a friend.
Looks like our friend.
Without the beard.
No. Insinuating it's Billy Bags. He looks like Billy Bags.
No.
It's great.
Such an awesome
I fucking love that scene.
Okay, but
obviously we all know it's Martin Scorsese's mom.
Yeah, and so this is the cross-cut. Not the cross-cut, but this is where we continue from the beginning because obviously the opening scene is here.
Yep.
And then I feel like, when do they go back to dig the body back up? It's very soon after this. It's so close in time that it's not a fully decomposed body yet. It's still there.
But we see them bury it after this.
They bury it again?
Yeah, no, they bury it they only bury it once.
No, they have to dig it back up, I'm talking about.
No, yeah, but I'm pretty sure we see them bury it after this. They absolutely bury it. Absolutely. After the dinner scene, they bury it. Don't you think?
After the dinner scene...
Do we see them bury it? Or are you saying they bury it up, they unbury it later on after they get in trouble?
So what I think Scorsese did is he showed the sequence again of them shooting, like quick cut of them shooting and stabbing, bags in the trunk. So so that's what it is. So they leave his mom's house, right? And then quick cuts of the gunshot and the stabbing in the trunk, right? And then
we see them we see them kill him again.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, but shorter version of it.
Yeah, exactly.
A shorter version of the killing in the
trunk
again.
We absolutely see it happen again.
And then I believe in the driveway in the morning where Henry's hosing down the trunk, and Karen's like, "Ew, Henry, what is it?
I hit a skunk.
I hit a skunk, Karen, okay? I hit a skunk.
I hit a skunk, Karen.
Yeah, Karen,
what do you want me to do?
But I think that soon they have to go dig it back up.
Paulie
is asking about it.
Because here's where Henry says, the problem was Billy Bags was a made guy.
Yeah.
People are looking for him. Nobody's heard from him. People are asking about him.
And he gives the rules, too.
And yeah, the rules. You don't hit a made guy. If you want to hit a made guy, you have to get permission from the bosses. So you
have to have a sit down.
You can't touch a made guy.
And you have to have a good reason to do it, but you have to have a sit down.
And so
it's a touchy situation, he says.
A made guy is missing. People are looking for him, asking questions. So now they have to move the body. You're right. Paulie tells them, you got to move the body.
No, Paulie's asking Henry.
Okay, you're right. Paulie's asking.
He's like,
but you know
about
this?
Henry's playing dumb.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, what'd you hear about that thing?
What
thing? The thing from Pittsburgh? No, the other thing. The thing from here? No. What'd you hear about the guy or Billy Bags?" Mm-hmm. He's like, "Oh yeah, he came in the bar that night, and then no one's ever seen him ever since." He's like, It's obviously they're obviously involved. And so Paulie's like, well, let me know if you hear anything. And that's when Jimmy and Tommy confront Henry, and they're like, we gotta get it out of there.
Put it in a better hiding space.
Because
it's because apartment buildings are being put up.
Yes.
That's what it is. Someone's building apartments right
Jimmy's
there.
like, we got to get it out of there right now.
We got to get it out of there.
And then we cut to amazing silhouette with the red brake lights again, but it's foggy, and we just see the silhouettes, and they're digging.
Henry's gagging. Tommy's joking about Henry.
Hey, Jim. And he's like, hey, Henry, you want a wing, Henry? You want a ring? You want a liver?
But first, you think it's the first body I dug up? You think it's the first body I've dug up?
No, that's not till Spider.
Is that?
Yeah, it's Spider. That's not here.
Oh, that's where he says the first body I buried?
Yeah, you think it's the first hole I dug.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah,
sorry,
they're making fun
Henry, you want a wing?
Because Henry keeps saying, it smells disgusting. Henry, yeah, you want a wing?
How about a wing?
How about the liver?
And then Henry's throwing up.
He's like, oh my God, it's so bad.
And Jimmy and Tommy are having a ball.
Okay, so where are we at? I believe
I got it.
Relationship turmoil.
Stand up. No, they're seeing the show. Tommy and Henry are on a double date with their girlfriends, showing Henry's cheating on Karen.
Okay, so they say like Thursday nights are for the wives, or Friday nights at the Coca was for the girlfriends.
And then Tommy says that racist comment because the girl he's dating, she saw Sammy Davis Jr. and he was amazing. She said something about
sexy.
And then Tommy's offended. Like, how can you find like a black guy sexy? Like, how can you find that attractive? She's like, well, I just mean he's like talented. He's so
just say he's talented. Just leave it at that.
Yeah, just leave it at that. You don't have to say he's sexy.
He's such a scumbag.
Yeah. And then Henry is with Janice.
Yeah.
Showing that he's been cheating on Karen for probably a while. And then,
do we see the apartment yet or no? I think
yeah. Okay, so Janice got in trouble at work. And then Henry,
Janice can do what she wants.
Janice can do whatever the fuck she wants. So Henry and his boys, they go to beat the shit out of her boss and threaten him because Janice, I can't remember what she did wrong. I think she was skipping out on work,
slacking off something.
Something. And then she was like worried that she was gonna get fired. She got in trouble with her boss, and then Henry brings his boys over to scare the boss.
It clearly shows it's exactly what his childhood was like.
Yes.
Where the mobsters were protecting him from school. Now he's doing the same thing for people.
And then we get the shots of, are we seeing his next girlfriend? He got Janice a spruced up apartment.
Yeah, this is all the same sequence.
So Janice is giving her friends a tour of the apartment.
And then the other one smells the perfume. She says, French.
Exactly. And then he's giving the tour, but then we see that Henry's really into her.
But first he tackles Janice into the bed. And
yeah,
they're very intimate.
Flirtly wrestling.
And then
kissing.
Janice leaves the bed and he gives the other girl the eyes.
And then she's like, oh,
she bumps into the wall.
Yeah, she's like transfixed by him.
And so while this is happening, this is Karen losing her mind. So Karen,
yes.
First they get in that fight.
I gotta come home to this shit!
Not yet.
No?
First they get in the fight where she takes his keys and throws out the window.
Yes.
And she's like, there's something going on. I know it. He's like, Karen, I'm still going out. I'm still gonna go out. Again, their fight.
Yes.
And then the kid's in the hallway crying. It's a poor little girl.
Then I think it's the tour. And then we're back to the bedroom with the handgun.
No, spiders around here.
Oh, the first spider.
So there's two spiders.
The first spider. This is the first
They're
spider.
both back to back.
Are they back to back?
Back to back sequence. It's a back-to-back sequence.
That's why I got confused with the digging the hole.
Yeah. So first, this is all around the same time. So they have Spider.
I gotta say, I don't think the scenes run back to back.
There might be a scene in between them.
I think the
montage with the girlfriends and with Janice and Karen
happens
freaking out
in between them.
It's all in the same time period.
I think so.
The first poker night is all the boys hanging out.
Yes.
And Spider's
serving them.
Yeah, serving them drinks. He's like the new young kid.
Doing what Henry did when he was a kid.
However, he's a doofus. He's a bonehead. He doesn't hear Tommy say that he wants to. He gets everyone a drink except for Tommy.
What do you get me a drink?
I said 7 and 7, Spider. You know, Spider, you're a fucking idiot.
I thought you said
Tommy. I thought you said Spider. I thought you said Spider. Spider.
James finally gets to actually reference it in the moment for the actual scene.
Fuck yeah.
What does Tommy say after that?
Tommy says, I'm Billy the Kid. What's that movie? Billy the Kid or
something like the Western.
One of the Westerns.
And then he shoots his gun up in the ceiling.
Hey, dance Spider, dance.
Spider, dance. Shoots him in the foot.
Shoots him in the foot.
And he falls down. Oh shit! What's the one? It's just a flesh wound.
I'm gets shot.
No, not that. That's
Yeah.
after.
And
Spider
so-
gets shot in the foot, and the guys take him away to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But then we do, I think, girlfriend Karen stuff.
I think, yeah, so...
And then I think we do the next Spider scene before Karen with the revolver.
Yeah.
So Spider 2, then revolver. So the Spider 2 scene.
He makes fun of his cast on his foot. It's like, Spider, you have
Yeah,
it's fucking massive. He's like, don't be such a pussy. You don't need all that, basically.
How about you go fuck yourself, Tommy? Oh, good for you. Good for you,
Good for you, Spider. Here, this is for you, Spider.
You gonna take that, Tommy? Oh, what's the world coming to? You gonna take that? Joe Pesci's face. He's just like fucking. He's so angry. You can see him just fucking seething. And De Niro's Jimmy Conway is like, you gonna take that? What's the world coming to? Boom, 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 boom. You fucking killed him, man. What's the matter with you? He's dead. What can I say? I'm getting shot.
I love how everyone's like, Jimmy's like, what are you, a psychopath? What's the matter with you? Are you crazy? Are you a crazy person?
I don't give a fuck. Whatever. I don't give a fuck.
What do you think is the first hole I'm not helping you dig that hole.
You're digging this hole in yourself. What do you think is the first hole I dug? Fun fact, Joe Pesci asked the armorer to give him real 45 millimeter blank slugs so he could really feel the real boom and kick of that particular pistol.
So
It's
loud,
a
too.
45. So big bullets.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of this movie, is especially seeing the rounds clearing out of the chamber of
And
the
it
handgun.
sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Sounds
but also
amazing.
the visuals of it popping out are great.
But it's cool. Pesci requested as legitimate and authentic blanks as he could get.
If anyone's ever watched The Sopranos or is a fan of The Sopranos, the first season has a great reference to this whole sequence of where Michael Imperioli in the show, he's robbing, I think, a bakery or deli. And then he accidentally shoots the guy in the foot, and then he says, "What? It happens, sorry." So it's a reference to Spider getting shot in the foot because he plays Spider in the movie Goodfellas.
Well done.
Yeah, thanks. It's a great little cameo.
Now the Karen.
So, yeah,
Henry wakes up.
Henry's asleep.
He's napping at night.
And he wakes up. That incredible shot of
His POV.
Henry's POV, his perspective, looking down the barrel of
The snub-nosed revolver.
Yep, the revolver. And then
Karen's
behind it.
Okay, Jim.
I'm speaking first, motherfucker.
I said Karen's behind it first, and you said Karen's behind it.
No, but like I'm continuing the sentence that I started a minute ago, and it's like there's an echo in the house. Is there an echo in the studio?
We're just both so excited.
I know.
Okay.
So Henry wakes up, and
What did she say? She say, what's her, like, tell him, are you cheating on me? What'd she say?
I think Henry says the first thing because
Karen. He says Karen.
Yeah, because Henry wakes up. He's a gangster. It's not the first time he's had a gun pointed at his face. He's worried, but also at the same time,
If it was
keeping it cool.
Yeah.
And so I think he says, "Honey, baby, what are you doing?" And I think she says she knows. And do you love her? Oh, before this, she goes to her apartment.
The horse scene.
Yeah, she goes to Janice's apartment.
Yes.
Hits all the buttons.
With the kids. She's got the kids with her.
She got the baby.
And she's like,
there's a whore living in apartment 4C.
She calls the superintendent line. She goes, Superintendent, there's a whore living here. There's a whore
He's
here.
my husband. Get your own.
Get your own man. Great point. I totally forgot about that.
And then that's when she's on top of him with the revolver, and he wakes up. She asks, "Do you love her?" I love you.
I love you, Karen. Karen, I love you.
Do you love her?
Karen,
Baby,
calm down.
calm down, baby. I love you.
You're gonna put the gun down.
Put the gun away. Put the gun away.
Then she slightly lowers it, and he smacks her. They both fall to the ground, and he takes the gun away from her. I gotta come home to this shit, Karen. I gotta come home to this.
I get worried about getting whacked in the streets. I gotta come home to this. He puts the gun in her face. How do you like it, huh? How do you like it? I'm sorry. We both killed that.
Oh my god.
I like how he punches the drawer too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Great point.
Wow, that just killed my throat.
Sorry.
Yeah, her crumbled up in the bed, so terrifying. It's a sad scene.
I know we're making fun of it, but Lorraine Bracco makes a lot of these scenes work.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah,
she's amazing in this
fantastic.
movie. She's one of the best performances.
She really, really defined that character.
We're not making fun of her. We're just quoting it.
It's a fun quote.
It's
She's
like-
fun to quote.
It's the same as quoting Tommy.
She's really fun to quote.
And then we have, I believe, Jimmy and Paulie come because Henry's obviously staying at Janice's now. Jimmy and Paulie come
Go to Janice's apartment to talk to Henry.
to talk to Henry, and
Because She knows so much.
Yeah.
They can't have an angry wife. She could go to the feds. No problem.
Yeah, and so Paulie's like, you gotta go home. I know what I'm gonna say to her. I'm gonna say it's gonna be just like after you got married. You're gonna be in love. You're gonna love each other.
Lovey-dovey.
But you gotta go home. You gotta go home.
And Henry's like, I can't go back.
Right. So he's gonna go back. He agrees he'll go back.
So I got it. Janice's girlfriend. He's seeing Janice's girlfriend and having her organized cocaine for him.
No, it's not yet. That's not until he's at. No, it's after prison. You're right. There are no drugs till after prison. So okay. So now we have prison, but how do we get to prison? The stuff with the zoo in the Florida. So
the zoo. This
is in Janice's apartment. Paulie says, "This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send you away with Jimmy. You're gonna go on a job. You're gonna go to Florida for a couple of weeks. You know, you're gonna do a job down there." So Jimmy and Henry go down there, and they have to get money from this guy, right? And
they really do feed them to the fucking lions down there.
He won't pay up, and so they take him to the fucking zoo, and they put him over. Is it the tigers?
They hang him over the lion
is
ring.
It lions or tigers?
I think it's lions.
Yeah, they must really feed them to the tigers because
once we hanged him over, he fucking talked. He sung.
He's on the payphone. He's like, they mean business.
They fucking mean business. But the guy's sister was a typist for the feds.
Yeah, for FBI.
Yeah, she was
secretary of the FBI.
Secretary. I think he says she's a typist. And she tells the FBI everything. Then they all get pinched. It's a photo montage. Photos of Henry and Paulie getting arrested. We get the black and white photographs. So we're getting back to the still frames.
Yeah.
Then Henry's in prison.
Yes.
The prison scene.
Prison. And it's a great sequence because it's not like most prisons, especially if you're a wise guy. So they run the place.
Jim. Your glass is empty.
Oh, here, fill me up.
Give me that, babe.
Anthony's. Do you have any more cookies in here? I'm all out.
You want some cookies? All right, let me get some more cookies. I'll be right back.
All right. Anthony has provided us with some more cookies. He's gonna pop this bottle of wine open
and some more vino.
So, what were we just talking about?
We were talking about
how he got arrested.
They all got pinched.
They all got pinched. Okay, so
we got the prison scene.
Not yet. So first Henry is saying there's a going away party at the bar. At the bar,
very well.
Everyone's saying goodbye to Henry. Karen's obviously very sad. And then he gets in a cab in the morning. Probably looks like he hasn't slept at all. Pops like a handful of pills. He says, "All right, take me to jail.
Take me to jail. Yeah.
Take me to jail." Now we're in prison. Does it open with the garlic being sliced?
No. It opens with the room of all of them in there.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole structure of the scene is based upon the sauce. Prison for guys like us is not like prison for everyone else. We're not in cells eating the shit food they have. We get to eat whatever we want.
Yeah, for
wise guys, prison ain't so bad.
Yeah. Obviously, there's different accounts of whether this is accurate or not, but I'm sure some people it was like this. If you have money or connections, then prison's a lot easier on you. So it's Paulie, Henry, and two other guys. One of them is the guy who cooks the meat every night.
He makes the steaks and the pork chops.
Yeah, and one guy makes the sauce. And like Anthony said, this whole scene revolves around the dinner, really, and around the sauce. And so Henry, he's the one who imports things for them for food and for
this
dinner.
One yours?
Yeah, that's mine. But also, even the COs, the corrections officers, they deliver lobsters in a box to them.
Yeah.
And they open up the box, and they're like, "Oh, fresh," and there's ice in there.
Here, take this wine.
Thanks,
this
pal.
Is from Puglia.
Puglia.
Ruggero di Bardo.
Puglia.
From the heel
Puglia
of Italy. Puglia.
And so we have a sauce being made, and Henry's talking about how he put too many onions in the sauce. So it's still very good sauce.
I put 3 small onions.
Hey, how many onions did you put in that sauce?
I put 3 small onions.
One guy's cooking a steak.
Angelo,
and then we have the flat iron steak. It's a flat iron, but he still cooked a very good steak.
It's a very good steak.
Henry's bringing in food. He brings in fresh bread, fresh cheese, and wine. Paul is like, "Oh, now we can eat." But also, Henry also has pills, and drugs that he smuggled in secretly that he's keeping from Paulie and everybody else.
That he sells to other prisoners.
So he puts that all in a separate bag. Then they sit down and they have their dinner. and then they toast and they have dinner.
I love how he's wearing the Adidas tracksuit.
Yeah, a tracksuit. Is it Adidas?
It's Adidas tracksuit.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
And so the older guys start to play cards at the end of the night after dinner. And, Henry's a younger guy, so he's going to go out and mingle, but also he's going to deal drugs. And then I believe...
Some of the guards are in on it.
Yeah, especially the one at the visitation section.
Yeah.
And so
he's like the main guard.
I think the next section, but also slicing the garlic is amazing. It's one of the best shots ever.
Slicing the garlic is fantastic.
So the
good
guard
method.
in the visitation section lets Henry deal out there. And I believe the next sequence is Karen visiting him.
She sees in the book that Janice signed in to visit him.
Well, yeah. So first they're at the table in the bench, and she's upset, and then she says she came here, and then it cuts to her looking through the book and seeing Janice's name. And
Does that happen? The book happens after?
It's in between the scene.
Okay.
In between the scene,
I think she sees the book first.
Okay, I think you're right.
It's in chronological order, I believe.
You're right.
Yeah.
This
ain't a Christopher Nolan movie, bro. And we also see that Karen's the one who smuggles things in for him.
Yeah.
She's pissed off. She takes out a loaf of bread. She takes out salami.
I can't tell people not to visit me here.
Yeah. I can't control who visits me.
Yeah.
Basically is what he says.
And she's like, I do all this. I smuggle all this in for you. And she's tossing the bread out. She's making all the kids upset.
We get a shot of the guard, and he's like, fuck.
He's like looking away, basically.
No one sees us.
But also,
then Henry's like, okay, never again. She's not allowed to see me again.
Yeah. Never. And then I think there's another shot either before or after of him giving the guard a cut of his money after he's done selling his drugs.
I can't remember that.
You can't remember that? It's so the guard says that the last one because a guy came to buy drugs, and then he shoves a couple folded $100 bills.
Okay.
He's like, all right, thank you, Henry. And then he goes away.
Okay, also important, Karen mentions that, nobody cares. Nobody's helping them. They're running out of money. And he's like, that's the problem. When you're in prison, we're on our own, Karen. Nobody's going to help us. It's just us.
And Polly's already out.
Yeah.
And he asked, is Polly putting food on the table? Is Polly paying the rent? No, we're on our own.
That's a big moment. That's the whole point of the conversation.
And then he says, I have things lined up.
I got my Pittsburgh friends. I got some things lined up in Pittsburgh. So once he gets out, he's going to start doing his Pittsburgh stuff. Does anything else happen until he gets out?
No, there's nothing else in jail besides that, because then
just the sauce.
And then it's him leaving prison, and Karen's outside waiting for him.
Outside, yeah.
Outside
she picks him up. She's got the cool pose,
and he's got that great smile.
Yeah.
He's like, there she is.
It's like he loves. He loves.
Yeah,
Karen.
Henry loves Karen.
Yeah,
for sure. Who doesn't love Karen?
Yeah.
Karen's the best. He loves Karen, but he's a gangster.
And she brings him home to their new home. She had to sell the house, and they're living in a 1-bedroom apartment, and the girls are living in bunk beds, in the living room.
Yeah,
they don't have. She has hardly any money to get by. And I love how Henry's immediately like, this isn't going to work. We can't be living like this.
Pack up.
He has standards. He's a good fella. He cannot have his kids living in bunk beds without their own bedrooms. Even though they're broke, his standard of living is not the same as the average person. He's always thought of himself as above, a better than. He's not a schnook. He's not a schnook like the other guys. He's a good fella. And so I love... Right away, the first thing he says is, we can't be living here. We're going to get a new place. And she says, we have no money. He's like, don't worry. I got things lined up with my Pittsburgh friends.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
I got it. Who wants to go to Uncle Polly's?
Uncle Polly's.
They'll have the food, the table. They go to Uncle Polly's.
Oh, my God, the platters.
And this is a really important scene. So all the food, like the baked ziti, the lasagna that gets taken out. But then...
Fucking baked ziti, baby!
We should have made baked ziti for this. But then what's really important is, after dinner, Polly and Henry go in the backyard. They're talking. And Paulie says, what you did in prison, I understand. You did what you did.
You had to do what you had to do.
You did. Excuse me. You had to, the wine. You had to do what you had to do. But he's like, and Henry's playing them. He's like, I know what you mean. He's like, you know what I mean? The junk. Don't do it. No more. You did what you did in prison, but no more. Don't make me an asshole. I don't want anything to do with it. Not out here.
Paulie wants nothing to do with drugs.
And Henry's like, why would I even think about getting into anything like that? And then I think it cuts right to him.
Janice? Janice's friend?
I think it's either that or it's either him doing a line. No, it's not. I think
her mixing. She's mixing cocaine and thinning it out. And they're both doing it in her apartment.
Maybe it's either that or
it's
either that or he's at the police station with Jimmy and Tommy.
That's after. That's right after this.
Yeah, okay.
So it cuts right to, because that's the whole point. He and Paulie have the conversation, and it cuts to Henry's lying, and it cuts to Janice's friend, who's now mixing and organizing cocaine for him to sell.
Use the dishwasher.
This place is a mess.
Okay,
and then the courtroom.
And so great because it's not a courtroom. It's
what is it? What fucking legal building is it?
What's that cop that's assigned to you after you get out of jail? What's that called?
Parole officer.
So it's a PO.
That's right. Oh yeah. They're all out, but they all have to see their parole officer today.
It's Jimmy's there to see his PO. Jimmy's there to see his PO, and Henry and Tommy are there with him, and they look inside the bag and it's just full of cash. They're all like, nice.
Oh yeah,
nice.
they're like, yeah, it's very good.
And then Jimmy gets up and goes to see his PO
with the bag.
So it's the parole office.
I fucking love it.
It's incredible.
And then the Lufthansa gig. Heist. This is the bit. Mm-hmm. And this is a really big sequence. So, this is going to be, like a $6 million heist. And
biggest heist in history.
I believe Maury was the guy who was the catalyst for it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was Maury's job.
Maury's idea. And everyone was in on it. Even what's Sam Jackson's name in it?
Stacks.
Stacks. Even he was the truck driver. And so the job was, again, stealing money from the airport, but this time it was $6 million, and it was a bunch of people involved. And then it cuts to Henry hearing it on the radio while he's in the shower. Jimmy!
You son of a
bitch!
The biggest heist ever recorded in American history. It's $6 million, $7 million. Blah, 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 blah.
This is it. This is right. And then it's Christmas time. The heist goes well. Then it's Christmas time. The party at the bar.
The Renette's playing.
Yeah, the Renette's playing.
They walk into the bar, and Jimmy's like, "Oh, you son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!"
And this is where I can't remember the guy's name. One of the gangsters walks in. His wife has a new minx coat.
The first is the Cadillac.
It's not the minx jacket?
I believe
no, it's the minx jacket. So he walks in with his wife with the minx coat. And Jimmy's like, "What the fuck you buy this minx coat for?"
He doesn't say minx. He says
whatever.
I said nothing big. I said
nothing.
Buy nothing
big.
Don't buy anything.
And then he opens the door and his pink Cadillac's parked outside, which he bought for his
Jimmy,
wife.
let me show you something. I love that car.
I love that car. Didn't I tell you nothing big?
What are you, an idiot?
Do you want to get arrested?
Are you stupid?
I told you.
What I said? I said don't buy anything big.
Nothing big.
Jimmy, it's a wedding present. It's under
my
mother's name.
It's under my
wife's mother's name.
Yeah.
It's a wedding
okay.
gift. What did I say? What are you, stupid?
Nothing big. And then it cuts to Henry with a white tree. I got the most expensive one they had, Karen. Also, their home is decked out. They have an entertainment room where the walls slide open. They're having Maury and his wife over for dinner. And showing off all the stuff they bought. And also, he gives Karen the diamond bracelet. The girls have a ton of presents. But I think we do...
Well, Maury's not there for Christmas.
Who? No, not for Christmas. He just has them over.
Yeah, no, but the way you're talking about it, you're making it sound like Maury's there for Christmas.
He's not. Maury's not there for Christmas, guys. I'm just saying, like, it cuts to them and having them over for dinner.
After Christmas, but no, so Christmas scene, gives her jewelry for Christmas, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. But then we go back to... It's not a Christmas party. It's a New Year's party. And Maury's hassling Jimmy for money.
Yeah.
He wants what he's owed for the heist. And he's pissed off. He's like, I'm the one who gave them the idea. Like, they wouldn't have gotten this money if it wasn't for me. And he's haggling. He's busting Jimmy's balls. And then he's hassling Jimmy. And Henry separates them. And he takes Maury into another room. He's like, don't worry. You're just going to stop busting balls. He's going to get paid. Just stop busting balls. And then Maury's like, you're a good one, Henry. He sings that Irish song that he knows.
But the thing is, Maury sees everyone else got paid.
Yeah, everyone else got paid. He's like, why didn't I get paid? I didn't get mine.
Also, but yeah, so around this time, though, and Jimmy hates him, is that scene where Maury and his wife come over to Karen and Jimmy's house, shows them the TV, like, look at the wall on the right. And it opens up to the TV stand in the
Asian
bar.
decor.
Yeah, in the bar, very expensive, it's beautiful. But also, I believe now...
It's the cream scene.
The famous cream scene where Tommy and
Sounds
Jimmy
weirder than
the band cream. Sunshine of Your Love.
Yep.
Where
That's when I knew that Maury wanted to kill Jimmy.
not quite. Well,
Not yet.
It's
After
all-
this. After this,
it's a little bit after. So
we see the shot.
So first is Jimmy cleaning up the heist.
No, Maury's the first one dead.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So
Maury-
it cuts to after Henry and Maury are chat. He cools Maury down. Jimmy watches Maury from across the bar. We get the Sunshine of Your Life play, the push in, while he's smoking a cigarette.
bow 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 bow
Boom, 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 boom.
Best shot in the whole movie, I think.
Boom, boom, boom.
And
Then
Niro's
it-
just like, son of a
Gonna
bitch.
fucking kill him. And then it cuts to Jimmy and Henry are walking on the sidewalk in the neighborhood, and Jimmy goes, "You think Maury tells his wife everything?" Freeze frame. That's when I knew Jimmy was gonna whack Maury.
Can I pause?
We're already paused.
Before this, there's already someone that got hit.
Oh,
I believe Stax got hit.
the curly hair guy?
Stax, Samuel Jackson.
Yes.
Because he forgot to get rid of the truck.
He
He was supposed to be up in the morning.
was late.
He was late to get rid of the truck, I think, as evidence.
Tommy-
and the
Tommy-
truck got found. Make the coffee to go.
100% right. He walks in. They enter him and the curly hair guy. Enter Stax's apartment, and he's like, "Oh, I just had a girl over.
See, I thought
I thought she was still here.
No, Tommy says, you got one of your bitches here. I thought I did. Where'd she go?
She must have left." And then he's like, "Oh, let me put my pants on." Turns around, and then
Tommy caps him.
shoots him. But what's great is we get a double shot. So first we get the real live action shooting him, but then
Yeah.
Scorsese goes back to it slow motion.
At the end of the scene, though, right?
Yeah.
So first, Stax falls to the ground, blood splatter comes out, and then the other guy's like surprised at what happened. He probably didn't expect him to hit him.
I think it happens right after, before the dialogue.
No, and then he says, make that coffee to go. He's like, it's a joke, idiot. It's a joke. And then they walk out the door, and then it cuts to the slow-mo of
You're right.
Tommy pulling the trigger and shooting him. Mm-hmm. It's a really cool way to do a scene.
Scorsese,
No
bro.
one really does stuff like that.
It's Scorsese.
I think it's really cool.
Then Maury,
And then
they're playing poker at the bar.
Yeah.
This is okay. Next scene. Do you think Maury tells his wife everything?
Yeah.
That's why I knew Jimmy was gonna whack Maury. Then they're all playing poker. Henry's nervous. He's like, "Oh my god, tonight's the night." Like he's gonna kill Maury.
Because he has to do what Jimmy says.
Yeah.
He's Jimmy's his guy.
Maury's
if
just a
Jimmy
no-
wants to whack Maury, he's going to have to help him whack Maury.
And then halfway through the game, Jimmy casually turns to Henry. He's like, "Forget about tonight. Forget about tonight."
Forget about it.
And it was like weight off my shoulders. It was like I was able to relax again.
However,
Henry goes home, but Maury's walking out with Jimmy and the other guys.
they said they're going to go to like a club or bar or something.
Yeah, he's like, "You really are. You love the bust balls." And then Maury gets
goes-
into the front seat.
Front seat, yeah.
Tommy's in the back, and then the curly hair guy's in the front seat. And right before he turns on the engine,
No, but and then there's someone else behind Maury.
it's Tommy.
Tommy, Jimmy's there?
No, Jimmy doesn't go in the car.
Okay. So, oh yeah, you're right. So it's three guys.
They're
here.
gonna meet Jimmy somewhere, they say, and then they get in the car, and then Tommy pulls out an ice pick and sticks it right in the back of his skull, kills him, and then what does he say to the guy? Because it builds on the
Sounded weird.
the coffee joke.
No, he's like, that sounded weird or something like that.
He's like, "Get the fuck out! Let's get the fuck out of here."
No, this is the famous song. Not Sunshine of Your Love Cream. That's a great shot, but this is the famous song
The montage.
of the montage of all the hits. What's it called? The song. Hold on, let me pull
No
it up.
googling.
No, just the song.
No googling, man.
We can check the song.
Yeah, but then it might help you see the scenes better.
I already know what's gonna happen. We're gonna find everyone. We're
Oh,
gonna.
let's try and figure it out.
I already know, ready. Here's what's gonna happen. Maury and his wife are discovered in the pink Cadillac.
So, well, hold on.
No, not Maury. Yes.
Hold on. Maury's wife goes to Henry's home, panicked.
Yeah.
Maury didn't come home tonight. It's 3 a.m. He always calls me. He always comes home. She's panicking. Henry's like, "I'm sure he's fine. Nothing happened. I'm sure he's okay." Then the montage of
So then there's the car with Maury and his wife, and then we have the pink car They're in a pink car.
No, the other couple, the couple who own the car in the car.
Okay.
That's who's killed in the car.
Yeah, gotcha. And then curly haired guy's found in a freezer, in a car, in a frozen a meat truck.
Meat truck.
We have 2 guys found in the garbage in the dumpster.
Yep.
And so basically, Jimmy's cleaning up shop, killing everyone who was involved with the Lufthansa job. I hope we're saying that right. Someone's going to call us up.
Lufthansa. Yeah, I feel like we're good.
We're pretty close. So yeah, we got all the hits, but let me just look up the song because it's really important.
Right.
Goodfellas song montage. Goodfellas song montage. Because it's really important, man. Layla.
How's it go?
Hold on.
Layla.
It's like it starts with the guitar. It starts with the guitar.
Just play it for a second.
No, not that one.
No, that's not it.
Hold on. It's like dun 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 dun. Hold on, I just gotta look at it. I'll see the name. People are screaming at their TVs right now, probably. Oh, it is Layla. It's like halfway through the song.
It's the opening.
Yeah, it's the intermission, interlude.
Okay. Well, don't play it too long. We're gonna get copyright, bro.
No, we'll be fine.
No, we won't. We won't be fine.
We'll be okay. But yeah, Layla, halfway through that song is that interlude.
Okay.
The piano interlude.
What band is it?
Derek and the Dominoes. Derek and the Dominoes. Okay, everyone's getting hit. Everyone's getting whacked. Who is involved with the job. And then we have...
I got it. I got it. Tommy's getting made.
Tommy's getting made, baby.
Tommy's getting made.
Yes, and Jimmy's very excited.
Everyone's dead, but now Jimmy's nervous because today Tommy's getting made. It's a big deal because when if Tommy getting made was like we're all getting made.
And the thing with the voiceover, it's great because Henry explains that in order to get made, your bloodline, you have to be 100% Italian, and your bloodline has to be traced back to the country, the old country. You have to be able to be traced back to Italy. Henry could never be made because he's not full Italian, and Jimmy's Irish.
Yeah.
So neither of them could ever be made guys. And so it's one of those things where Henry wishes he could be made, but it's sort of a ceiling for him. He can only go so high in the gangster world.
Yeah.
Because he's not full Italian and he can't be traced back to Italy, he can never be a made guy, even though he could be that person. He's worked that hard.
Yeah.
But Tommy's going to get made.
And there's so they're waiting at a diner to hear back from word.
Yeah, the same diner that we always at.
And then Tommy's with his mom, and she's like adjusting his collar, and she's so proud of him. And he's like, "Oh no, mom, you're embarrassing me." And he gets picked up by the guys. He's driven to a house in the suburban neighborhood, and they lead him in, and they're having this little chit chat. He walks into just a bro, like a guy's
like a game room.
A game room. He's like, "Oh fuck!" Boom, shot right in the back of the head, falls and collapses to the floor.
Then Jimmy,
and he says, "Oh no!" That's what he says.
Yeah.
Oh no! He realizes.
Then Jimmy at the phone booth.
Yeah.
And the guy on the other line. It sounds like Tootie.
I don't know if someone we've seen.
It could be Tootie.
And he says, "I'm sorry, man, but
nothing we could do.
Sorry,
he's gone.
He's gone. There's nothing we could do."
And then De Niro just destroys the phone booth.
He bashes it and then he kicks it and then he starts weeping.
Then Henry comes out and
he says, "They fucking whacked him. They whacked him.
He's dead."
It was revenge for Billy Bags. They found out that Tommy killed Billy Bags.
Yeah. I mean, they're lucky to be alive themselves, you know. Okay, so now we have to get into
drugs.
Drugs are getting really intense.
This is the third act
in Henry's life. So
it's basically the day in the life now, right? That one day, the drug day.
Yeah, so it's the day in the life that's mixed.
Selling guns.
No, selling silencers.
I think he's got guns in there too.
Well, he goes to Jimmy's house with silencers.
Him and Karen do together. Okay, hold on.
He's making a sauce.
First up, let's start from the beginning. Morning, his brother's over, and they're preparing a dinner for tonight.
He's making chicken cutlet.
Making chicken cutlet and a sauce. He's also got the babysitter's also a drug runner in the airport for them.
Yeah, there's an earlier shot in the movie where she brings home a baby.
Yeah,
because she uses babies to smuggle.
Yeah.
And Karen's like, "Oh, whose baby is this? It's my neighbor Karen."
Yeah.
Like
"Oh, he's so cute.
He's so cute. Is this the same baby you used last week?" No.
But you're right. She uses them to disguise the drugs that she smuggles in.
Yeah. Okay,
That's the setup.
This is a great sequence because it's really about a 15-minute sequence, but it's such a big part of the plot, and it's all in one day because this movie stretches so many years. But there's this main sequence that's just one 24-hour period.
It's the longest sequence that takes place in such a small amount of time.
In terms of time.
And also, Thelma Shoemaker edited it with the chaos of being a drug addict.
So there's a lot. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot going on. We have Henry's doing drugs. He's doing blow. He's got to pick up drugs from the other girl who makes the drugs. He's like, what do you think I got the dishwasher for? Like, you got to clean everything.
This place is a mess.
Where are you going? Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? And she just wants him to tell him. This place is a mess.
I fucking hate you.
This place is a mess. So he's doing that. He's making the sauce.
You can never
for
come
Michael.
see me.
He has to also. He's selling the silencers at Jimmy. None of the silencers fit his guns.
Him and Karen are selling them. She's with him.
Yeah, and then Jimmy's like, you gotta stop doing that blow. It's fucking with your mind, basically.
It's messing with your head.
It's messing with your head. He's like,
Also, the helicopter.
He's like, none of these fit. The helicopter.
The helicopter following them everywhere.
Yep. We have that sequence.
Dun, dun, dun,
And then they're
they're
buying guns?
No, they're selling guns.
No, but I know. But okay, so they're selling guns.
I'm telling you, they're not just selling
yeah.
silencers. They're selling guns.
Selling
too.
silencers and guns. Because the guy in the hotel room, that's what I mean.
And I believe it's the same salesman from Taxi Driver.
That'd be interesting.
But that guy, he is De Niro's buddy in Silver Linings Playbook.
He was a real gun salesman too.
The Eagles super fan who's friends with De Niro's character in Silver Linings, who's always hitting on the wife.
Oh my god.
Same actor. I think he's pals with all of them.
Yeah, well, I know in Taxi Driver that's what he used to do for a living. Like
I'm pretty sure it's the same gun salesman as Taxi Driver. Same guy.
That'd be pretty cool. Bow. So he's doing all this. The helicopter's chasing him. He's going crazy. Him and Karen,
she's also a coke addict
also doing blow. They stash the guns at her mother's garage inside a trash bin, right? Mm-hmm. And then they go drive around. They go to the mall.
And they look up.
They go in the mall for like an hour, and they come out, and it's gone. And then he's on the phone with Michael. Keep stirring the sauce. Keep stirring the sauce.
The poor guy. He's just stirring the sauce all day.
And then he goes to get the drugs. And then basically they're at the house, and he finishes his day. He makes the cutlets. They make the dinner.
He's doing the chicken cutlets.
And then he makes dinner. And he's ready to go. And also, while he's on the road, he tells the drug smuggler, don't call on the home line. Go to an outside line. Go to a payphone. She's like, yeah, I know. And what did she do?
She called from the fucking home line.
After she hung out with me, she calls from my home. They could have heard everything. If anyone was listening, they could have heard everything.
And then she won't go without her lucky hat.
I need my hat.
I don't fly without my lucky hat. What do you mean you need a fucking hat?
And he's like, do you understand what we're involved in?
And then he's like, fine, we'll get the fucking hat. He takes her. They get in the car, and they're in the driveway. He starts the car. He's about to reverse it, and then there's a gun in his face. Freeze, motherfucker! I knew they were cops because if they were Goodfellas, I wouldn't have even known they were there. I would be dead.
Yeah. I knew they were cops. That's such a good line. It's so badass.
So he's pinched. He's getting arrested. Inside the house, Karen's panicking. She's like, oh, fuck. She's running around. She grabs the bag of coke. She opens it up with a knife, and she starts pouring it into the toilet and flushing it.
And then she puts a handgun in her panties.
Yeah.
Closes her bathrobe. And then Henry's in holding cell.
Yeah.
And then the voiceover says he convinced Karen's mother to put their house up to get him out on bail.
Yeah.
Gets back to the house. And he's going through the TV set to try to find the Pittsburgh.
What'd you do with it?
Where's the Pittsburgh money? Where's the Pittsburgh stuff?
I flushed it down the toilet.
Karen!
That's all we had!
That's all we had!
Why the fuck would you do that?
Why would you do I don't know! Karen, that's all we had!
Whoa!
There's $60,000, Karen!
Karen!
And they cry into each other's arms in the corner of their bedroom. It's not Karen's fault.
No, it's not her fault.
Karen thought that she was doing the right thing, which she probably was.
Yeah.
She's like, they wouldn't have found it, Karen! Karen!
Oh, man. Okay. Now we're at the diner.
No, not yet.
No?
We have to go. Is he
Paulie turns his back to him.
Yeah.
He goes to Paulie, And he's frying something in the sausages.
Oh man, they look good.
And he's so upset with Henry. He's like, I told you not to do that stuff, but you made me look like an asshole. I gotta turn my back to you now.
You lied to me, yeah.
You lied to me. And he gives him a wad of cash, $3,200. That's all I got for a lifetime. Paulie's out. He's done with Henry. Never again.
I have to turn my back on you.
Yeah, I have to turn my back on you now. Then Henry and Jimmy, they meet at a diner. We get the great dolly zoom shot. And Jimmy's saying, I got this job. You meet these guys down.
The fucking glasses. Well, first he says Henry chose a public place because he was worried about getting whacked by Jimmy.
Yeah.
Right? And then Jimmy says he wanted to discuss the details of their cases. I think you have a good chance of beating the case.
You have a good chance. You give a chance.
You have a good chance. And then he's talking about blah, blah, blah. And then he says, would you do a hit for me? Would you go on a hit for me?
Yeah.
He passes him a matchbook. I want you and whoever to go down to fucking Florida or something.
The thing about being in a crew is you never know when you're going to get whacked. That's what he said. That's what narrator Henry says.
But he also says it was the first time ever that Jimmy ever asked me to do a hit, and I knew it was a trip I'd never come home to.
I'd never come back from. Yeah.
So he knew that Jimmy was going to set him up for a hit. But also Karen almost gets hit by Jimmy too.
She goes to
talk to Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, how's he doing? Like, what's going on?
What's his state of mind?
What's his state of mind? He's like, go in and,
I got some great Chanel dresses.
Something like that.
It's Chanel. No, Dior. It's Dior dresses.
He's like, keep going.
They're in the back.
Keep going.
He does this.
He's like, yeah, go in.
And she walks over and she looks into this interior, and there's two like shady guys who look like they're stacking some things, but also, I don't know, you can't trust them.
Do you think that Jimmy was gonna whack her?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I absolutely.
So you can kind of see what the guys are like fiddling with a ladder. It's all silhouettes. You can't really see who they are, what they're doing, but it looks like they're just doing some home ec.
They're pros. That's what they know how to lure people in.
Yeah,
to comfort.
But Jimmy's expression is like, I'm whacking you.
But I love his hand. He's like,
yeah, go in.
No, he's just nodding like, yep. Mm-hmm. I got some great Dior dresses. Go ahead and pick them out. Anything you want. Mm-hmm.
He knows how to lure Karen somewhere.
Then she runs away, and Jimmy's like,
speeds off.
Jimmy's like, what the fuck? And then she drives home, and she's weeping in the car. Henry's like, what's wrong? She's like, I got scared. I got scared.
And then, is this when they go to the cops now? They go to the feds?
Henry has no other option. He goes to the feds. He turns himself in.
Well, he's already, he's not like he turns.
Oh, yeah.
He's already under.
And then we get the scene in the FBI agent's office. He's basically giving him their options.
And this was a real FBI agent, right?
Correct. He's actually on the case in real life.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Worked the case.
That's pretty sick.
He basically tells them, neither of you can get off on this. And then Henry's like, but she didn't know it. He's like, Karen, we have tapes of you talking about this
Karen's
stuff.
like, but it's Henry you want, right? Karen, I've heard your voice in those tapes talking about cocaine and drugs.
Yeah, you're just
don't act like you're not involved.
Yeah, so he basically says, this is where we get the witness protection.
Yeah.
That's their option.
So they talk about how either they have Henry and he's a witness for them, he goes into witness protection, but however, if Karen and her kids stay out of witness protection, they can get to her.
Yeah.
And he says, if it makes him a happier witness, a better witness, I want you to be with Henry. And Henry says, I can't do it without you. And then she's like, so what does it happen with kids? Do they go to a different school? And she's like, what about my parents? Can I contact my parents? And he's like,
never again.
Never again. And she's like, wait a second. God forbid something happens to my father. I can't. He's like, maybe something can be arranged. Who knows?
Yeah.
But for now, this is it. It's either this or you die. And he knows it and you know it. And all Henry wants is like, just not somewhere cold. He's bronchial. If he's legitimately bronchial, we'll look into it. Just don't send me somewhere cold.
I fucking forgot about that. He's bronchial.
If he's legitimately bronchial, yeah.
We'll look into it. I forgot about that. That's a good line. And then it cuts to all the guys getting pinched. Jimmy gets arrested.
Yeah.
Paulie gets arrested. They all have gray hair now. And then we're in the courtroom. And then Henry's on the stand. And then Jimmy's at the defense table. He's got the big glasses on. Paulie too. And then the prosecutor asks Henry to point to the men. And he points to Jimmy. He identifies Jimmy and he identifies Paulie. And also just the shame on Liotta's face and the shame on the other guys' face.
The looks on Paulie and De Niro's faces, yeah.
But I love De Niro's like talking to his lawyer like like he's fine. He's just like that. Yeah, he's just doing the Nero
I
face.
love the glasses because they're like magnifying glasses, like
Huge
Professor
glasses.
Trinoli. Like it
ages him.
But they reflect his eyes so much. But yeah, that's a good point.
It ages him really well.
Even though same thing with Henry's supposed to be young. When
Jimmy's supposed to be 27 in the casino scene.
yeah, and it's De Niro when he's like 42.
They just dyed his hair brown.
It's 1990.
Yeah.
The dude was in his late 20s, early 30s in fucking Godfather Part 2.
Yeah.
How old is he in Taxi Driver? 32 years old in 1976? Gotta be.
Taxi Driver, he was 26, I believe.
Did you see he just celebrated his 82nd birthday jumping off a 40-foot yacht into the water?
What?
Yeah, it was a great video. Like
No way.
he just dove headfirst into the water while the yacht's moving. Yeah.
That's awesome. He's in great shape.
Yeah, he's
For an 80-year-old.
I mean, the boxing movie he just did with Sylvester like 10 years ago. He's in great shape.
Yeah, he just did it 10 years ago.
Well, I mean, 10 years ago when you're in...
Yeah, he just did it a decade ago.
Yeah, I just pulled an Anthony. He just did it last week. Anyways.
I'm sorry.
Got him.
He just did it.
Got him!
He just did it in 2012. I think we forget sometimes that we're in 2020s.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think so too. Okay, so
Then
everyone's getting arrested, and we
get-
have the great courtroom sequence.
We get the Henry breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Talks right to us.
He says that great monologue. He's talking about
Stuff.
they could no, but he's talking about how they could literally do anything.
Yeah.
We had cops in our pockets. The world was ours. We could get away with anything. We could do anything. And it's a great monologue. I can't remember what it is, but I love the surrealism of this is the first time there's a fourth wall break in the whole movie.
Directly to the camera, yeah.
And this is him speaking right to the audience, and it's really it's awesome how he like kind of coolly comes over the witness stand, walks through the crowd, and everyone's there. Fucking De Niro's in the background, all the actors and cast is all there, while Henry's and Ray Liotta's running this monologue. It's really cool.
Fucking Scorsese,
man.
Fucking
The
Scorsese.
fucking man.
Now that's done. It's done all the time. The fourth wall breaks are done all the time.
And then what's he say?
But
And
fucking Marty fucking started it, man.
then what's he say? He's like, and now it's over.
Now it's over, and we cut to him. He's in witness protection. He walks outside of his house. It looks like he's in Nevada.
It could be anywhere, but it's newly developed land because there's houses being freshly built on this area. There are tractors going around just tearing up the land because clearly this is a new neighborhood that's just been built by someone who bought up the whole land.
And then he says, "Now I'm like,
Now I'm a nobody.
Now I'm a schnook.
I'm
And
an everyday schmuck."
He says, "I ordered spaghetti, and I got egg noodles and ketchup."
Spaghetti and tomato sauce.
Yeah, I ordered spaghetti and tomato sauce. I got egg noodles and ketchup.
I'm an everyday schmuck.
I'm just an everyday schnook. He says schnook. And then it cuts to, he looks at camera, and then it cuts to Tommy firing the pistol right at camera. Boo, 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 boo.
Bum, 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 bum.
And then it cuts back to Henry smiles, and he
Yeah.
goes back inside.
And then the text crawl of the true story of where everyone's at, what prison they're in, where they're alive, where they're dead.
Yeah.
What's the old gangster movie that Scorsese referenced with that shot?
It's the Western, the train robbery.
Yeah,
Great train robbery. The great something train robbery.
where the guy is
Yeah.
shooting directly at camera. Great reference.
That's it.
It's picture wrap.
That's it. That's rap.
I think that's it.
We did it, man.
Actually, we did a pretty good job.
It took a while.
It took 2.5 hours. My throat is gone.
Mine too.
But-
So it's all the Karen lines.
Karen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I can't think of a bit that we missed.
I'm sure there's something we missed.
I can't think of. I mean,
I'm sure there's something we missed.
honestly, I can't think of anything that we missed. Anything significant.
Well, we did a pretty good job.
I think we got the order really well.
I think there's some things that obviously we never get the order right when we do movies from memory. I think there's some things that maybe got a little mixed up. I think the general areas are all really good. I still think
that Air France is before Karen.
I still think Air France is after the
Do you want to look it up?
Air France?
Yeah.
Whether it's here, let me pull up Wikipedia.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull up Film Grab. They have a
Goodfellas.
Film Grab is a great place to see chronological photos.
Let's see. Goodfellas, Wikipedia.
Okay, I got it. Okay, he gets Air France is at the bar scene, but then they pull the job after the Copacabana date. So Copacabana date, then the airport robbery.
Let's go.
he booked they got the inside information from the guard at the bar.
Are you sure?
Yeah. 100%. 1,000%. It's at the
No, because there's so much date sequence that it'd be like 10 minutes before that heist. I'm telling you, man, it's a back-to-back thing of meeting the guy at the bar because it's a different scene because Jimmy's at the bar.
Hold on.
Jimmy's at the bar when he meets with him because remember, Henry goes like this to Jimmy. He's like, oh. But that's not the same sequence of the long shot, the long take of meeting all the gangsters,
Okay, hold on.
POV, and then Tommy and Henry's scene at the table.
I got it. 1 sec. I'm gonna pull up an actual, literally, a scene by scene.
I'm telling you, man, I'm right.
Well, let's see. You might be right.
Because then it'd be like 20
Okay.
minutes before that.
Goodfellas in 6 minutes from Joe Blow.
Because it literally goes from the guy's like, what's the security? You're looking at it right here.
you're looking
And then
at
it goes to him robbing the airport.
All right, hold on. I got it. Okay. Blah 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 blah.
Does that have every scene?
It says in 6 minutes. Okay, we got the robbery. We got the POV introduction. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby.
No.
It's right before Tommy's monologue.
Let me see.
Watch. Ready? Hold on. One
Give
sec.
me that phone.
I got it.
God damn
Play
it.
it from here, baby.
God
Oh man, it's good to be right. Oh yeah. Oh, let's go. It's all the same day. It's all the same night.
So it's before, huh? Oh, god damn it.
Yes.
Mother effer. God damn
It's
it.
it's POV introduction. He's got the Air France job, and then Tommy jokes with Henry. That's all the same night. All the same night.
God damn it.
Fuck yeah, baby. Let's go.
Okay, you win. Good call.
Woo.
Ready?
It's the red light, man.
Yeah. You're right.
And it was like that scene is like not just an introduction to the world, but to set the plot.
Yeah.
Get the plot going.
You got it, bro. You got it.
Hey, we both got it. You did a great job.
Lufthansa.
Lufthansa.
The vault at the JFK airport. The Lufthansa vault.
And then the Air France is a Kennedy airport.
Oh, no, I'm talking about because we were making sure we got the name right.
The name right. Lufthansa. Yeah, we were right.
Yeah, Lufthansa at the JFK airport.
Yeah.
But Air France is way earlier.
Air France is the first one, yeah.
Man, you got it, man.
I knew that all happened on one night. I fucking knew it, man.
Fucking hell.
Man.
What a fun episode.
That was my favorite movies from memory.
I had a good
that
time.
That was a fun one.
I can't feel my throat,
Yeah,
man. My voice
I
is
lost
shot.
my voice.
That was a good. Yeah, it's the Tommy and the Karen impressions.
Also, our teeth are red.
Yeah, purpley.
I ate a lot of cookies.
That was a lot of fun. We needed it, man. I needed it. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
But yeah, look at this.
Killed it. We did a really good job. I'm sure we missed some stuff.
I don't think we missed anything.
If we didn't miss anything, I'm sure we got some stuff slightly out of
I
order.
don't think we missed anything. I really don't.
I thought we'd do way worse, to be honest. I thought we'd do a lot worse of a job.
I mean, it really.
But then
you don't feel like you know it that well. But then once you get going, you're like, oh, I know this movie.
Because like you can play it in your fucking head. The amount of times we've seen Goodfellas,
Especially once you get rolling.
I'm sure so many people listening or watching right now.
Same thing.
You've probably seen Goodfellas 15, 20 times, and then it's like at first like, oh my god, it's so intimidating. There's so many scenes to recount, but then you're into it and you're feeling fucking like you're flowing.
And honestly, I think we got the order of everything correct.
Pretty good.
Especially the biggest challenge was recognizing when the Karen Henry sequences started and when they ended. And also what was happening in between.
I think for us, if we missed stuff up, I think it was probably the other mistress with the drugs, with the cocaine. Her
She had a couple more. Yeah.
Her scene placements might be a little out, not too far out,
think
but
we're pretty solid
but
with
pretty
them.
fucking close.
I think we're
same,
solid.
The same 10-minute area.
I think
but
we're solid.
Kind of like, oh, it's actually before this scene.
He does go to her apartment twice on that day. We didn't say that.
Yeah.
We only said once. He goes there twice in the same day.
Yeah.
The first time he picks up drugs in the morning, and then the second time is when he leaves, he's laughing and she throws the shit at the door. Well, not shit, actual shit.
Also is
not actual feces, but stuff at the door.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
But also his voiceover is like, every now and then I had to tell her I loved her.
Yeah. You never come see me.
But there is a scene where he is coaxed by her and they're about to have sex.
Remind me what happens in that scene?
He's just picking up drugs in 8 balls one time.
Oh, yeah.
Not that day with the helicopter.
Yeah, okay, got you. Yeah, got you.
But during the drug stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we fucking nailed it. I really can't think of anything that we didn't get.
Man, what a good time.
We got every scene.
What a good time. These episodes are so fun.
They are. They're really chill. No prep required. It's nice. Just walk in blind.
So fun. All right, let's wrap this up. I got to get to bed. It's already 10:30.
Fucking old
Everyone,
man.
bro, I'm exhausted.
You had a long day.
I was at the ranch all day. Everyone
James was riding horses.
ranching, showering. I was taking
ranching.
care of horses. I was giving them baths, everything. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Become a patron today, of course, at patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast to get ad-free versions of every single episode, as well as bonus episodes every single fucking week. Let's go. Not to mention, leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple. What are you going to say?
We have a bonus episode for Patrick. It's going to be a Mystic River review.
Is that my daughter, Sean? Sean, is that my daughter? Good pick.
It's our next bonus review on Patreon.
Patrick, thanks for becoming a patron. We appreciate it.
Thanks, bud.
Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple. Of course, share us, like, subscribe, leave comments. What?
Sean Penn gets me every time.
Leave those comments. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Spotify. Like, guys,
you
do
know
all
the stuff.
Do all the things. The things
things.
that help us.
Gotta help the Raiders boys.
We blew out our voices on this episode for you all.
my throat's killing
Gone,
me.
man. It's gone.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna be icing my throat for days. And also, just take care, everybody. We appreciate y'all.
Take care of yourself.
Fucking wine, bro. 2 bottles of wine in. I'm
We
like,
hope you had some nice wine while you listen to this.
did you have some good laughs? Or if you're at work, I hope you had a good prime drink. Or
If you're at work, I still hope you had a nice glass of wine.
everyone's working from home these
At your
days.
lunch break.
It's like those great memes where it's like 70:59 for work from home employees, then 8 o'clock they're in pajamas and they're like ready to go.
Unless you drive, then
Don't drink and drive.
when you get home.
Yeah, Anthony, come on.
James,
You're telling people to get drunk at work.
I mean, I used to get drunk at work sometimes.
Yeah.
It's because I used to work in a bar. That's why.
That's funny. Okay,
Help the time pass, man.
let's end this. We gotta end this.
James is like, let's get out of here.
I gotta go to bed.
All right,
I
everybody.
can't talk anymore. Take care, everybody.
See you next time.
This episode was brought to you by our chosen one patrons, Jacob Kossler and Nicholas Martin. Thanks so much, boys. Raiders of the Lost Podcast is a mirror image production. Sound mixing done by Jacob Kossler. Opening music by Chase Jackson.